Coming up next from the Trans World Dome in St. Louis, it is the Rams and the Miami Dolphins. And by day's end, we'll know if Dan Marino and his embattled coach Don Shula will have a postseason. The game is next. But first, we send you back to our New York studios and Greg Gumbel.
Hi, everyone. I'm Greg Gumbel in New York. We'll get back to your game in just a moment. But first, an update on the scores and an unreal ending to the game at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, where the Packers have beaten the Pittsburgh Steelers. That was the score when, with 16 seconds to play, Neil O'Donnell brought the Steelers to the line. 4th and goal from the 6th. O'Donnell will wait and find Yancey Thigpen open, and he drops the football. It gives the NFC Central Championship to Green Bay, and it costs the Detroit Lions the divisional title. The Green Bay Packers beat the Steelers 24-19. In Chicago, the Bears beat the Eagles 20-14 today, and the Bears are hoping for an Atlanta Falcons loss. That would put the Bears in the postseason. We'll get to the Falcons in a moment. In Kansas City, the Chiefs eliminating any hopes of the Seahawks 26-3 in the fourth quarter. The KC5, led by defensive end Vaughn Booker, sang the national anthem. Neil Smith and Derek Thomas on backups, and Tamarick Vanover was inspired by the performance. Takes the opening kickoff 89 yards for the touchdown, his second kickoff return of the season for a TD, both against Seattle. He later caught a touchdown pass, and the Chiefs have not looked back since. 26-3 the score late in the fourth quarter. In Buffalo, nothing at stake for the Bills here. Steve McNair leading the Oilers 28-16. In Atlanta, the Falcons with a late touchdown leading the 49ers 28-27. A win puts the Falcons in the postseason. In Cincinnati, the Bengals and the Vikings are tied at 24. The Cleveland Browns in Jacksonville, the Browns trail. And in New York, the Saints beat the New York Jets. Let's send you back to
We're at the Trans World Dome in St. Louis, where both the Miami Dolphins and St. Louis Rams came into this game today hoping to get into the playoffs. Well, the news is not good for Rich Brooks and the St. Louis Rams, who were officially eliminated just a few moments ago by virtue of the Chicago Bears victory. They needed all 3 games to go their way. One has not, so the Rams will sit home this postseason, the inaugural season in St. Louis. Now, as for the Miami Dolphins, it is a bit more complicated than that. The big game that Don Shula has been watching is Seattle and Kansas City. Late in that game, Kansas City has a big lead over Seattle. So with Seattle losing that game, it does not matter if Miami wins or loses today, as long as Oakland loses to Denver. And that game is going on right now. A few moments, they'll kick that one off. It is a crazy playoff scenario, Bob Trumpy. I'm Dan Hicks. We're glad you could join us. So what do you do if you're Don Shula? You try to fire up your team for the possibility of getting into the playoffs, but it really doesn't matter if you win or lose.
Yeah, that is unique. There is no question about that. But if you're Don Shula, if you're going to make the playoffs for next week, and they'll watch the Oakland score very closely, you want momentum going into the playoffs. So you play this game just like you would any other game. There is still a lot at stake. Now, if you're not going to make the playoffs, Don Shula, with this season, still assessing talent. A lot of these kids got to play very hard for 1996.
Which brings us to another question. How long do you leave a guy in like Dan Marino, who's been brittle over the years, if the game doesn't even count, or do you watch the scoreboard and base it on that?
Well, I think you've got to do both. He is the offensive leader of the Miami Dolphins, and you want to make sure that Dan Marino can put his signature on this football team and this game today. But at the same time, without Dan Marino at quarterback in the playoffs, the Dolphins have very little shot whatsoever. That's the balancing act that Don Shula has to deal with today.
The Miami Dolphins will kick off. Pete Stoyanovich will do the honors. Back deep for the Rams is Kinchin and J.T. Thomas, and it is J.T. Thomas who will shed a tackle at the 16, but quickly brought down at the 17-yard line. So the Rams will start their 1st and 10. Mark Rippon will lead St. Louis onto the field. He's in for the injured Chris Miller. This is his 3rd start up front for him. Gandy, Goes, Brostek, White, and Ashmore, a developing young offensive line. The running backs, Jerome Bettis will get the start. Alexander Wright, speedy wide receiver. Isaac Bruce, who's having one of the greatest seasons in NFL history. Troy Drayton, very capable tight end out of Penn State. And there is Mark Rippon, who has put up huge numbers in his first 2 games, filling in for the injured Mark Rippon. And the first play is a pass as Rippon goes deep downfield, and it's complete to Isaac Bruce for a 1st down and a big gain. And the boos you hear are not boos, it is Bruce.
Yeah, look how long it took him to find or to at least get a receiver in linebacker coverage. when the Indianapolis.
And we want to welcome those of you who have been watching the Seattle-Kansas City game. This is Dan Hicks along with Bob Trumpy. Scoreless. There's been one play, a big gain to Isaac Bruce to start things off for the St. Louis Rams. And once again, we'll reiterate the situation. Miami can win or lose this game, still make the playoffs if Oakland loses against Denver. That game being played as we speak. So St. Louis at the 48-yard line, 1st and 10. And ripping right to the air again, far side. This one complete to Alexander Wright. So Bruce, and then another one to Wright, and the Rams are on the move.
Dan, earlier this season, the Indianapolis Colts took apart this Miami defense. Mark Rippon told me 2 days ago they looked very closely at what the Colts did by formation and personnel, and they're going to try to duplicate that game plan. First pass to Bruce, crossing pattern, linebacker coverage. Second pass to the receiver, spread formation, the corner off a lot. The Dolphins are going to have to fight against that loss to Indianapolis Colts even today.
2 players in the Rams are at the Dolphins 41. Play action, rip into the air again. And he's got another completion and another first down. And it's once again complete to Bruce. So 3 passes, 3 first downs for the Rams. And we'll set the Miami defense for you up front. It is Cross, Bowens, Klingbeil, and Coleman. Coleman has 5.5 sacks, but the leader of the defense has been the volatile Brian Cox. He's in the middle. He's on his way to his 3rd Pro Bowl. The defensive secondary has been banged up. Atkins starts for Oliver, and Terrell Buckley starts for J.B. Brown at the right corner. And rip into the air for the 4th straight time to the end zone over Isaac Bruce. So Mark Rippon, who last week put it up 50 times for 347 yards.
Yeah, the week before he had 55 attempts. Told me that that's the most he's thrown the ball in any 2-week period. Not used to it, said Marm's fine. Have no problems whatsoever. And when you got a kid like Isaac Bruce, yeah, throw it to him 55, 60 times.
There's Rich Brooks, who I'm sure knows by now that his team is out of the postseason. Really similar starts for both of these clubs. Great starts, but dismal finishes down the stretch of the season. And the first carry of the game for Jerome Bettis, and the big fullback is up the middle for a few yards, and that'll bring up 3rd down from the Miami 24.
Yeah, this season for the Rams, somebody should write a book on it. You know, Rich Brooks signs a contract with the Los Angeles Rams knowing they're probably going to move. Then League says you're not. Then they say they are. Then they say they're not. Then they say they are. So they come here. He's told his players the move will not be an excuse for anything in this season. Block it out of your mind, and for the most part, they have.
First 3rd down faced by St. Louis. Brian Cox comes in from his linebacker position, putting pressure on Rippon, and this one incomplete in the end zone, intended for Alexander Wright. That'll bring up 4th down, and we'll get a field goal attempt from Dean Biasucci.
This offense that the Rams use, kind of based on the Washington Redskins under Joe Gibbs, and then also the influence of the San Diego Chargers with Jack Riley, the offensive coordinator, was at San Diego last year. A lot of different formations, motions. This is a very difficult offense to defense on a regular basis.
You saw the limited field goal attempts for Biasucci. He's the kicker for 7 games in place of McLaughlin, Steve McLaughlin, and this one attempt is good for Biasucci. So the Rams take the opening kickoff, march right down the field, and lead it 3-0 with 12:19 left in the first.
Me. I'm temping. Some office. It's just one guy. I think he's just starting.
Is the phone for me?
No. Ward and Associates?
Jim Ward. I can do that if you want. I got him right here. No problem.
Oh, hi. It's your mother.
Ma, can I call you later?
Your stuff is printing.
I could have that ready as well. Tonight. I could put my whole team on it if you like. Absolutely.
In searching for a luxury performance sedan, Michael Young tested the Oldsmobile LSS against 3 of the fastest Japan has to offer: the Infiniti J30, Lexus ES300, and teppanyaki chef Yasu Norimoto. And while his 240 horsepower LSS was no match for Yasu's speed, not only did Mr. Young fare much better against the imports, he had them for lunch. Will the LSS pass your test?
Defensive coordinator Tom Olivadotti talking with Brian Cox. St. Louis had a pretty easy time in the opening series, Trump.
Yeah, but this is an important game for Brian Cox, returning to his hometown. First time he's played in St. Louis, born and raised just across the river in East St. Louis, Illinois. Everybody you talk to on the Miami Dolphins coaching staff says he's the most coachable kid on the team. But the public persona of Brian Cox again went to another level last week.
Fined $17,500 after the fight with Buffalo.
Reverse.
The reverse from O.J. McDuffie to number 31. And that is Sean Hill. So some trickery from the Dolphins on the opening kickoff to them, and we'll be back.
All right, Dan, here's how things ended in Atlanta between the Falcons and the San Francisco 49ers. Under 2 minutes to play, the Falcons down 5. Bobby Hebert rolls out, finds Terrence Mathis, who will do the rest. By the time all is said and done, it's a 37-yard touchdown. It gives Atlanta a 28-27 win, and the Falcons are in the postseason. Here's the wild card matchup next weekend. The Falcons are at Green Bay. Detroit travels to Philadelphia. Dan?
All right, thank you, Greg. So Miami begins with excellent field position at the 40, and right away, Marino to the air, out of the backfield. Keith Byars tackled for literally no gain. Good play by Cedric Figueroa, who is starting for Shane Conlon, who's been put on injured reserve with a nagging knee injury. And up front, in front of Dan Marino, Pro Bowlers on the left side and Webb and Sims, but rookies on the right side now that Andrew Green is starting there. They've had a lot of injuries at right guard. Byars and Pomeroy, the running backs, Fryer and McDuffie, the wideouts, and the huge Eric Green at tight end. They'll give Byars about a yard on the play, so 2nd down and 9. And Marino to the air again, and this one caught by Irving Fryer, and Fryer looks like he picked up the first down just into Rams territory, stopped by Toby Wright and Todd Light, very active safeties for the Rams. And the Rams on defense up front, the rookie Kevin Carter out of Florida, along with Jones, the former Cowboy. DeMarco Farr having a great season, and Sean Gilbert. Cedric Figueroa, we just told you the story on him, starting for the first time since '92. Light and Parker the corners, and Wright and Lyle the safeties. And this is Bernie Parmaly's first carry, as a flag is also thrown in. Bernie Parmaly comes into this game just 150 yards away from the Dolphins' first 1,000-yard season since 1978.
DeMarco Farr didn't even let him get out of the backfield there.
5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
As we get the first signal from Mike Carey, the referee. And against St. Louis.
You know, we talked to Dan Marino yesterday. I asked him if all the criticism about Shula has affected the way Shula has coached. He said, no, nothing has changed about Don Shula since the first day I met him back in 1983. Coaches the same way, talks the same way. Audible.
A little audible from Dan Marino on 1st and 5. And this pass is on the mark, complete down to the 32-yard line. And once again, it's Irving Fryer who picks up the big game, brought down by Keith Lyle.
On that little slant that Dan Marino has thrown throughout his career so well. What you need is a big, strong receiver, and that's certainly the case with Irving Fryer. He absorbs the contact there and just makes sure he gets his head around quickly so he can make the catch. Anthony Parker on the coverage, but you know, Irving Fryer is so strong as a receiver.
And on 1st and 10. Marino to the air again. This one completed the 21-yard line. On the way, Rippon and Marino have come out firing. This could be a high-scoring affair. That one also complete to Fryer.
Big matchup today. Richmond Webb, the all-pro offensive tackle, versus Sean Gilbert. Gilbert playing his first season at defensive end, making the transition from defensive tackle.
And we want to welcome those of you who have been watching the Cleveland-Jacksonville game. Jacksonville ends its season with a big win over the Browns. Our score 3-0 Rams, as Bernie Plumlee gets the carry, and he is stopped behind the line of scrimmage by Toby Wright.
This Rams defense is on the verge of being a great one. They came in here, Willie Shaw came in here from San Diego and looked at its size and its strength. And in 1995, this is more of a gap defense, up the field. This is a very tough team to run to the edge. There's Willie Shaw, formerly of the Chargers. This is a hard defense to get out.
Rid of it, and he was looking for Fryer just over his outstretched hands.
Little fade route again, taking advantage of Irving Fryer's size and strength, just slightly overthrown. That's Gary Stevens, the offensive coordinator. He's the one who is calling the plays.
Needs a good one here on 3rd down and 14. And Marino will step back into the shotgun. 60,000 plus fans here at the Dome. And that one complete at the 15-yard line, and it should be a 1st down. That one to Gary Clark. And Keith Lyle again on the stop as they mark it inside the 15, and that'll be a Miami 1st down.
And 6 defensive backs in the game. The protection up front. Rams try to run a little stunt. Good job by the left-hand side of the line. Center, Ruddy, Sims, and Webb. That's not the concern part of the Miami Dolphins offensive side. It's the right side that's the worry, as you said, Dan.
Actually well short as they spotted at the 23-yard line. Pete Stoyanovich in to try and tie it up. And Stoyanovich splits the uprights for Miami. And we're tied at 3 with 7:44 left in the 1st.
In shopping for a luxury performance sedan, Jay Kerness tested the Oldsmobile LSS against the fastest, most nimble machine on Earth, Juma, the Cheetah. The LSS's sport suspension and traction control attacked the course, as did the Cheetah. But while he considered the LSS's precise handling quite impressive, there was one thing he failed to consider. Cheetahs are very sore losers. Will the LSS pass your test?
Nice kitty. Go away.
What are the odds of the sharper image, Continental Airlines Grand Destinations, Royal Caribbean Cruises, and FTD all having a sale at exactly the same time? Actually, they're quite good. Presenting master values from MasterCard. Immediate savings at places all over right now. Exclusively for people who use MasterCard.
Hey, you okay? It's 3 o'clock.
I can't believe this heartburn. You and your Let's Go Mexican tonight.
You didn't take the Pepcid AC before you ate, did you?
Pepcid AC?
Yeah. Could have stopped your heartburn before it even started.
Oh, so I could actually be sleeping right now.
We could be sleeping.
Wait.
Take one now, it controls acid all night long.
Oh, all night?
Water?
You're so good to me.
You can sleep heartburn-free with Pepcid AC.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Oldsmobile, by Microsoft. Where do you want to go today? By MasterCard. It's more than a credit card. It's smart money. And by Budweiser, official sponsor of the 1996 Olympic Summer Games. This Bud's for you.
Mighty Mississippi outside of the Trans World Dome. Chilly outside, comfortable 72 degrees inside the Trans World Dome. Just the 4th game played here by the Rams in this brand new facility, and we're tied at 3. Stoyanovich, who just kicked the field goal to tie it up, sends it over to the right side to Todd Kinchin, and Kinchin is immediately stopped at the 20-yard line, so the Rams will begin there, stopped by Sean Hill making the special teams tackle for Miami. So Mark Rypien will lead them on again for Rich Brooks. And this is also a precarious quarterback situation for St. Louis next year, Trump. Chris Miller, who had suffered the 5th concussion in 14 months. He's out for the season. Rypien is in, but it's not settled for next year.
Yeah, even if the doctor, there's Chris Miller on the sideline, and even if the doctor says, look, he's fine to play next year, do the Rams take a chance that he can handle a hit or two? I mean, no quarterback has ever gone through the league without getting hit. So there is concern as to whether or not Chris Miller will play again.
Here's the pitch to Bettis, who spins and turns for a couple of yards across the 20 to the 22-yard line. And we'll send you back to our New York studios and Greg Gumbel.
All right, Dan, earlier today at Soldier Field in Chicago, Eric Kramer led the Bears to a 20-14 win over the Philadelphia Eagles. This is a 13-yard touchdown pass to Keith Jennings. With that Eagle loss, the Dallas Cowboys clinch the NFC East. They can win home field advantage through the playoffs with a win tomorrow night, Dan.
All right, Greg, thank you very much. Dan Hicks and Bob Trumpy with you from St. Louis. 2nd down and 8 for the Rams after the 2-yard gain by Bettis. Rypien tries to buy some more time, and a pretty good effort by Terrell Buckley, who got in the way of that intended pass for Isaac Bruce.
Buckley replacing J.B. Brown out with an injury. The ball was intended for Isaac Bruce, as you said. Buckley right there in coverage. You see Bruce is in the slot there. Isaac Bruce is he's trying to show off today, being from Fort Lauderdale. Grew up dreaming of catching passes from Dan Marino. Buckley's going to have the coverage a lot today, but Bruce wants to impress all of his family down there in Fort Lauderdale. Give him a real show, you know.
Rypien steps up downhill, go at the 21-yard line, so Miami records its first sack of the day, and will give it to Trace Armstrong, who is playing with a fractured wrist.
And he's got the cast on it. Didn't know it was broken, but when he went in and picked up a 30-pound dumbbell and couldn't curl it, he said, you know, there's something wrong with my wrist. Definitely a defensive player. But spread formation here. And you see Trace Armstrong come late underneath for the sack. First of the day by either team.
And we see our first punt of the day. Sean Lendetta gets it off. And O.J. McDuffie comes up to the 43-yard line to make a fair catch. And ends up having to make it over his shoulder, so Miami will begin another series in good field position. They began the first at the 40-yard line. Got a field goal out of that. We'll have their second offensive series when we come back.
When was the last time you played in the rain? Let your hair go wild. Flexed your muscles to the world. Stayed up past your bedtime. When was the last time you really had fun in a car? Riviera by Buick. Go ahead. Express yourself.
This is the future of corporate computing. No, wait. This is. Oops, sorry. Scratch that. The future is definitely this. On second thought, it'll be this, we think. There are many visions of the future. Most will turn out not to be right. But we engineer our network systems in anticipation of uncertainty. So no matter which way it all goes, you can't go wrong. Digital, whatever it takes.
Dateline Tuesday.
Anybody who says life's not worth living is totally wrong.
Christopher Reeve goes home for the holidays with new hope for the new year.
What are your hopes and your dreams?
Katie Couric's touching interview. Plus, this is nuts. Why are you paying more for American peanuts than the rest of the world? Dateline NBC Tuesday.
.6:14 left in the first. Dan Marino brings the Dolphins to the line of scrimmage for their second series. And a handoff to Parmalee. And he took a pop. Roman Pfeiffer got in there. Well, the other key game as far as Miami's playoff hopes is Oakland and Denver. And for an update on that, let's go to Greg.
And Dan, the Oakland Raiders have drawn first blood against Denver. Billy Joe Hobart, 11-yard touchdown pass to Darryl Hobbs. The extra point has the Raiders up by a 7-0 score. You're right, Dan. The Raiders win and they're in. If they lose, the Miami Dolphins go to the postseason.
All right, Greg, thank you very much. That is the situation unfolding between Oakland and Denver. Play action for Marino on second down, and down he goes at the 38. And Pfeiffer got in there with a host of other Rams to record the sack on Marino.
Hey, Rams have nothing to lose here. Let's try something special. Pfeiffer comes from the outside, gets around Milner, 79. And Marino does the right thing. Don't take a chance, turn the ball over, just eat it. We'll try again. Excellent defensive call there by Willie Shaw, the St. Louis Rams.
Leading tackler for St. Louis is Pfeiffer with a career-high 139. And on 3rd and 14, Miami with 5 wideouts. And Marino pressured again. And the ball is loose. They fall on it at the 21, but Mike Carey, the referee, appeared to have thrown in a spot to perhaps call it down there.
Now that's where the fumble took place. The beanbag is where the fumble took place. It's Fred Stokes, number 60, who put the pressure. Excellent coverage downfield. Frankly, Marino had no place to go. Watch Stokes come in. The pocket just kind of collapses. As Marino steps up, you see the tackle there, and there's Stokes grabbing a hold of him. Ball is loose. The beanbag is where the ball is fumbled, but it ends up a sack. And
Miami recovers it, so they'll punt it away on 4th and 23. John Kidd's first punt is a good one. And it drives Kinchin back. He's across the 25. He fumbles the football. The ball is still loose. Miami says they have it, and they do. At the 23-yard line, recovered by Robert Wilson.
Oh, Kinchin did that last week. Cost the Rams the game against the Redskins. Yeah, sometimes he carries it very carelessly. Ball stripped away by, I can't pick up the number. It looked like it was number 52, Jeff Kopp, who stripped the ball away. And then finally the recovery by Robert Wilson. Again, watch the strip by number 52. You see Kinchin's carrying it out there in front of him. He should have it tucked away. A bad mistake by Kinchin.
You're right, Trump. He fumbled, had a crucial fumble last week in St. Louis's loss to Washington, 35-23. He coughs it up here, and Miami is set up at the 22-yard line. As a Ram comes over the line of scrimmage, was he drawn offsides? Maybe Eric Green drew him off. Talk about penalties. The Dolphins set a team record last week for penalties in a season, as we hear again from Mike Carey.
Before the snap, false start on the offense, number 66. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
I think he means 86.
Yeah.
He called 66. When that body rocks, it's easy to pick up.
Dolphins came into this game, Trump, and Don Shula, normally teams with very few penalties. They came in with 104 penalties for 871 yards. As you mentioned, that is a team record now.
One of the reasons why you look at this team and say, is this really a Don Shula coach team? 2 3-game losing streaks and all those penalties.
1st and 15, Byers in motion. Quick drop by Marino, and that one is complete at the 13-yard line to Gary Clark, who hauls in a second reception. Todd Light on the stop for St. Louis.
Well, it appears to me the Dolphins coaches figured they're going to get a lot of bump and run, take advantage of good, either big, strong receivers or quick receivers. We've seen Irving Fryer. Now you've got Gary Clark, a real veteran, knows how to handle the tight coverage, ball thrown by Marino where it's either an incomplete pass or a reception. No chance for interception.
Catch number 697 in the career of Gary Clark. It was just short of the first down. It'll be 2nd down and 4. Pitch, Parmalee, left side. hurdles his way close to the 15. He'll be short, and that'll bring up third down.
And again, this is a very tough defensive front seven to get the corner on. Sean Gilbert, very, very quick as a defensive end. Carter, the rookie, very, very quick as a defensive end. You're going to have to bust it up in the middle of this Ram defense to have any chance at running the ball whatsoever.
As you look at the scores continue to go by, Oakland leading 7-0. Remember, Oakland wins and they're in. Oakland loses and Miami is in the playoffs. And Marino firing complete inside the 5-yard line to Irving Fryar. First and goal for Miami. So they have gone to Fryar early and often.
Well, that is a great catch by Irving Fryar. He knows what the defense is. He knows there's going to be a safety in there just at about the spot where he's going to catch it. You see the cornerback drop off ever so slightly. Anthony Parker, he makes the catch. Watch the hit by the safety. And right there to just, Lyle is there to nail him, and Fryar hangs onto the football. That's a tough reception. You get extra points for that.
They spotted at the 3. And Parmalee busts into the end zone for the touchdown.
Up the middle.
8th touchdown rushing of the season for Parmalee. And the Dolphins go on top 9-3, and there is Kinchin, who fumbled the punt return, which enabled Miami to get in.
That's nice, crisp, strong blocking on the goal line there by the center of that offensive line of the Miami Dolphins. Ruddy. You also got Andrew Green at right guard. Sims. Excellent job by Miami big guys.
And Stoyanovich pumps it through.
Now, there are a lot of ways to take advantage of a defense. Miami may have found another one. Gilbert's not down in his stance. Clark comes in motion. Bam, ball snap. Look at that great double team block by Sims and Webb to get Parmalee in the end zone.
Parmalee gets in. Marino and the Dolphins off to a hot start. They lead at 10-3.
Working to be the best. Teammates. Sponsored by the U.S. Army.
We answer the call, baby. Got to answer the call now. Sets up. Now throws down the field. Wide open. Anthony Miller at the 30.
The explosive performances of free agent receiver Anthony Miller. And rookie running back sensation Terrell Davis have helped make the Denver Broncos the best they can be.
You will be called private, specialist, or sergeant. Beneath the ribbons on your chest will be the souls of those who came before. You will be an individual, but triumph as a team. You will know strength, courage, and compassion. You will win what must be won, achieve what must be done. Be all that you can be. You will be a soldier.
Let me guess. One side of you craves easy chair comfort, while the other side itches for performance, right? Well, meet Buick Regal with its famous 3800 V6 engine and Grand Touring suspension. Add to that an all-new interior with body-sensitive seats. And finally, there's a car for the two of you. Buick Regal.
After being the strength of this team early on, not committing turnovers, turnovers have really added to this team's demise down the stretch.
Rich Brooks said early in the season the thing he liked about a team is we didn't beat ourselves. And when this losing streak started, it's 2 of their last 9 games they've won. It's all been accountable because of the turnovers. Another one by Kinchin.
A 4-0 start. They forced 14, committed none. As J.T. Thomas takes it at the 10-yard line. Quickly across the 30, 35, 40, and finally wrestled at the 44 by Sean Hill. But a good return by the rookie out of ASU.
And
back
if we
to
go,
the touchdown.
yeah, and you wonder why people go to the Pro Bowl. Watch the left guard Sims, left tackle Richmond Webb, and the job they do on the defensive tackle and the linebacker. Left of Marino. Watch the push that they get. Sean Gilbert really is no factor in this play, but look at that. Man, they just bowl people out of there. A good double and rub, as offensive coaches call it. Parmalee in the end zone for the score.
St. Louis from the 44. Trailing 10-3, rip into the air, lofting it, trying to hit Greg Robinson. That'll fall incomplete. Robinson signed by the Rams from the Raiders at the end of October. He led the Raiders in rushing as a rookie back in '93, then hurt his knee and missed all of last year, was entirely out of football.
They also signed that Montgomery kid.
Tyrone Montgomery.
He was also out there with
Raider.
the Raiders, yeah. Of course, Steve Ortmeyer was out there with the Raiders. He's now the general manager of the Rams, so he's taking people, bringing people to St. Louis that he knows and he thinks he knows well. They haven't worked out yet.
Well, with Bettis' struggles, it was Robinson who quickly came into favor for the St. Louis Cardinals. Isaac Bruce hauls in another one, and he's into Miami territory. Isaac Bruce came into the game with 104 catches, club record. More than 1,500 yards receiving, also a club record, and 12 touchdowns. The 1,571-yard total, 5th most in NFL history. But there's some other receivers around the league doing some pretty good things as well.
I never thought I'd see a receiver in the league catch 100 passes. We got a bunch of guys catching over 100 passes.
Now Rippon being chased, just slings it downfield, and that is Johnny Bailey. Streaking down.
Yeah, one thing about Mark Rippon, out of the pocket, he is a fire plug. I mean, not because of his size, his movement. The coaches can catch Mark Rippon out of the pocket. Anytime he's flush. Jeff Cross, 91, is the one who kind of gets Rip out of the pocket. Once out of the pocket, you've basically neutralized Mark Rippon. A lot of things he can do well. Throwing a run is not one of them.
So Sean Landeta is set to punt. O.J. McDuffie standing at his 12. And Landeta will try to drop this inside the 20, and McDuffie makes the fair catch at the 9-yard line, and that's where Miami will begin. And we'll take this time out to remind you that tomorrow night NBC's got one more present for you under the tree, a special Monday movie event starring Johnny Depp and Mary Stuart Masterson. Benny and June, a special Christmas movie event tomorrow right here on NBC. Well, Dan Marino will come out for the third series for Miami. Dislocated the finger on his left hand in the frustrating loss to Buffalo last week. It's a little bit swollen, but says it doesn't affect him too much. And he'll hand this one off to Terry Kirby, who's got the first down across the 20. The first carry for Terry Kirby.
Good move here by Miami. They caught the Rams in a 4-1-6 setup. Oh, they're even going back to the hurry up to the line of scrimmage offense here. But with 2 extra defensive backs in, that's 2 less linebackers to make the tackle. Good blocking. Kirby with nice yardage and a first down pickup.
And they go to Kirby again, left side. Strings out the Rams defense. And they'll mark him out of bounds at the 30-yard line. And why in the hurry up so soon, Bob?
Well, I said hurry up. I don't mean it. This is the at the line of scrimmage offense. And all they're trying to do is lock the Rams into a certain set of defensive players and then try to take advantage of that set.
End of the first quarter at the Trans World Dome in St. Louis, and the Miami Dolphins, who will find out by day's end if they're in the playoffs, have the 10-3 lead over St. Louis. Back in a moment.
Hey, be careful with that running.
Let me show you what I've got in here.
Yes, this is a list of school events. Oh, this is a thank you note. This is my mailing list. Be careful with that running. Financial stuff.
This is our checkbook.
My insurance policy, bank accounts. Be careful of the cat. Don't do that. Repairmen who actually show up. We have school records. Yeah, baseball scores, pizza places that deliver.
It may be chaos,
but it's organized.
And this is a guy thing, right?
The all-new Tracer FX with its unique skin guard
Is this a sensitive part?
is designed to give a man a smooth shave with less irritation. Schick Tracer FX.
You the sensitive type? I like that.
Relax, kick back, rest easy. Not the first thoughts that come to mind when investing on your own. Working with a Dean Witter broker, you'll feel differently.
Every client's ambition should be our ambition. Their dreams, our dreams.
Because after all, it's reassuring to know someone is there looking out for your interests. Dean Witter.
We measure success, one investor at a time.
During the holidays, one of the great things about living out here is looking for the perfect tree. Sometimes when we find one, we just leave it. Season's greetings from our families to yours.
Will the real Santa Claus please stand up?
Those are helpers. Helpers can come to a professional football game. The real Santa is resting comfortably right now. He's got a busy night ahead of him.
Six defensive backs in again for the Rams on second and short. And Marino trying to pass his way there, looking for Gary Clark, incomplete. That'll bring up third and short. Anthony Parker on the coverage out of the corner position for St. Louis.
Rams have adjusted here slightly with the 6 defensive back set. Now they've moved the defensive back up to the line of scrimmage to help against the run, so Miami throws.
A win today assures the 20th winning season in 26 years in Miami for Coach Don Shula. But on his mind today, obviously, a playoff spot. It's out of his hands, as that playoff spot will be determined between the Broncos and Raiders. Kirby gets the carry, and he'll be short. That'll bring up 4th down.
Again, you're asking your offense to do a lot against this defense with anything on the corner. There's Monty Clark, the offensive line coach, talking to Don Shula. They keep trying to capture the corner. They had the blocking back in there. Wilson didn't help a bit. And they ran to the right. You know, that's the inexperienced part of their offensive line. You'd think they'd run behind the Pro Bowlers.
Both rookies out there. As we mentioned, Andrew Green getting the start. Tom McHale is inactive today. And they've got Billy Milner, a first-round draft pick out of Houston, also there. Todd Kinchin back deep to receive the punt from John Kidd. Kinchin hangs on to this one, but wrestled down quickly at the 30-yard line. Making the stop was Kirby Dardar. Familiar name out of Syracuse, who's now on the active roster for Miami. Well, tomorrow, join NBC Sports for an exciting NBA doubleheader, starting with showtime at 3 Eastern. Then David Robinson and the Spurs battle Charles Barkley and the Suns. And then in Game 2, the NBA champion Rockets make a Christmas voyage to the Magic Kingdom, where Shaquille O'Neal and Orlando are waiting. It's a holiday NBA doubleheader Christmas Day on NBC.
How can you get those last 2 guys under any Christmas tree? Come on.
You can't. For a price.
Elijah Wan and Shaq.
Inside handoff to Robinson. And he is stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Look, if you had your wish, what position would you make Shaquille O'Neal on a football team? Where would you line him up?
I'd like to see him at tight end.
So would I. How about Elijah Wan?
I'd like to see him split wide or in the slot at times. Where would you see him?
Field goal blocker. Let's start there. He could certainly dive over the pile for all short yardage touchdowns.
Loss of 1 by Robinson.
Bruce.
Rip into the air. Isaac Bruce has the first down, and he is special. Quickly into Miami territory. Terrell Buckley chased him down.
Well, you said it right. This kid is special. Give it to me, he says. I want it. Now, it's interesting that He's one of 15 kids. His dad's a roofer. His mom is a minister, along with 3 sisters. So I'm not sure what part Isaac Bruce played in the family. Maybe because he was the 13th of 15 kids, he had to run away from all the older ones. It certainly proves he ran well.
Rippon gets some pressure from the corner. Isaac Bruce down to the 15.
Again, Rams great job by isolating Isaac Bruce, who has over 100 catches, on Brian Cox, the linebacker. See if we can pick it up. Watch 51. Because of the formation and the motion, he's going to have to pick up the slot guy. You see that Brian Cox is trying to run with Isaac Bruce. And look, that one you just give to Jack Riley and the Rams. Right call against the right defense.
Over 100 yards receiving for Isaac Bruce. And that breaks the team record, as the give is to Greg Robinson. He came in with 8 total, which tied the team record of Elroy Hirsch back in '51, but now he has it.
Yeah, he's set 3 receiving records already this season. He had 3 straight games of over 150 yards receiving. He had 6 straight over 100 yards. I mean, this kid is remarkable.
Week 5 through 10, he had 6 straight 100-yard games. So he's got 9, and we're still 11:20 left in the first half. Rippon swings it out to Robinson, who hauls it in. And a good effort to get inside the 10-yard line. He'll be short of the first down. It'll bring up 3rd down, but Chris Singleton brought Robinson down. Just his 2nd catch of the season.
Now, that's what teams have been able to do against this Miami defense. With formation and motion, they throw a lot at this defense. And I'm not saying it's poor coaching. I'm just saying that when one team exposes a defense's weakness, and Indianapolis did that in their win in the RCA Dome, other teams copy that. Here's the same formation. Spread this defense out.
Third and 4, Rippon going to the end zone, and Kinchin didn't even know it was coming. It's incomplete, as Troy Vincent was on the coverage for Miami. And that'll bring up 4th down, another field goal attempt for the Rams.
Well, that's a plus after the way the Rams were able to find Isaac Bruce open all over the place to hold him to 3 points. Great plus for Miami Dolphins defense.
Dean Biasucci had a 42-yard field goal in the first quarter to open up the scoring. Now trying to get the Rams within 4 as they spotted at the 18. 28-yard field goal attempt. And Biasucci is 2 for 2, and the Rams creep within 4. 10-6 with 10:23 left. We'll bring you back to the Trans World Dome in St. Louis in a moment.
Honda presents Great Drive.
This is incredible.
With under 2 minutes to go in a 1974 playoff, the Raiders trailed the Dolphins 26-21. Stay tuned to see how the Silver and Black embarked on a desperate drive to win.
Inside every person who needs a minivan is someone who swore they'd never buy one. For that someone, Honda created Odyssey, with 4 doors and a fold-away 3rd seat. It's the minivan for people who deep down inside aren't minivan people. Odyssey, the Honda of minivans.
In just a minute and a half, Ken Stabler skillfully moved the Raiders to the Miami 8. In one of football's greatest moments, he found Clarence Davis, who made the sea of hands catch with just 26 seconds left to play.
Domino's presents Gus's Guide to the Game. The key to football is timing. Allow precisely 22 minutes for pregame warm-up. Then, make the right call. So you won't be starving at halftime.
As some rookies lost with your pizza.
The ultimate deep dish. Extra thick, extra zesty. Call now and get a large one-topping deep dish, just $9.99.
Oh, guys!
Right after the game, honey. But we're into OT.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Call now and have Domino's deliver the ultimate deep dish pizza by halftime. Because when it's gotta be deep, it's gotta be Domino's.
Good shot of the monstrous Trans World Dome. Seating capacity 66,000. Bob, what are your thoughts on football's newest facility?
Well, I like the look of the TWA Dome, but I'm not a fan of domes because you have to play on AstroTurf. Now, if they could grow grass indoors, I'd be all for these domes.
Biasucci kicks off. And this will be McDuffie to take it out for Miami. Looks a nice cut up the middle, and now he's got a lot of room on the far side. Biasucci tries to chase him down and actually ends up knocking him out of bounds, or toward the out of bounds.
He wants a raise right now. I'm supposed to kick him, not tackle him. And while we were away during commercial, Brian Cox talking to Tom Olivadotti on the sideline about who's got home. How are we going to handle this Isaac Bruce cutting through the middle of our defense here, trying to adjust to what's going on.
Tough guy to figure out. Complicated, Brian Cox.
He can play on my team. I mean,
I ask any of the coaches, any of the players, to a man. They say he's great in the locker room, great to work with, comes to play every game, but he may need a new PR agent, Bob. Marino gets rid of it, and it's complete. Keith Byers driven back, but they will spot him up around the 44-yard line. So Keith Byers, 128 straight games with at least one catch. So now he's 5th all-time, all alone in that category.
Yeah, you know, he's still not completely recovered from that knee surgery. Admits that it'll be next year before he's 100%, but he's out there playing. Same is true of Terry Kirby. Neither completely recovered.
Both had reconstructive knee surgery last year. Byer in motion. And Marino to the air, complete to the big tight end, Eric Green, and he's inside the 15. Pfeiffer finally wrestled him down, but Green, who goes 6'5", 280, lumbers for a big gain.
This is a beautiful pattern run by Eric Green. It's an out and up. He is right inside the motion. Watch 86. He fakes like he's going out. Cedric Figueroa is the guy at coverage. Perfect throw by Dan Marino. Makes the big completion for the first down. Well done, Miami.
He caught a 25-yard touchdown pass from Marino last week in the loss to Buffalo. And a pitch to Parmalee. Looking for a hole right side, cuts it back inside, close to the 10. Pretty good 5-yard gain for Bernie Parmalee in his 4th year out of Ball State.
First time he's really gotten yardage. They've really gotten yardage running the ball. And that's been one of the things that's hurt Miami so much in this 1995 season. Kind of felt that they could run the ball with some authority with Terry Kirby back and with Byers back, but then they had offensive line problems on the right side and virtually useless for them to try to run the ball.
They rushed for just 42 yards last week. Marino throws it right into the hands of Roman Pfeiffer.
Ball, he fumbled.
And he fumbled the ball, and now they say Miami has it.
Boy, that was a heck of a hit. O.J. McDuffie comes up with the recovery of the interception return.
And Sean Gilbert, in the meantime, is down for St. Louis, but quickly pops up.
Ball was intended for Eric Green, should not have been thrown by Dan Marino. He's standing on the sideline. Green, left-hand side of the screen. Watch Pfeiffer drop right down underneath him. It was the same pattern, the out and up. Pfeiffer didn't bite. He starts running. It's O.J. McDuffie who, well, he doesn't really shoot. Well, he's starting to lose it. Then Byers hits him. Ball is loose. McDuffie recovers on the field. 2 turnovers now by the Rams.
Gilbert seems to be all right. It'll go down as Roman Pfeiffer's 3rd interception. 14th on the season for Marino. But the Dolphins get it right back just outside the 8-yard line.
Would you call that a good break?
Yeah. And Parmalee looking to turn the corner. Spun out of bounds at the 6-yard line by Pfeiffer, who's been very active.
Well, it almost looks like Miami's forcing the run here, isn't it? You're going to keep trying to run the corner, get out to the edge, spread the defense a little bit, maybe with the ultimate design of something popped right up through the middle.
6th ranked offense in the league, 5th ranked passing offense in the league, but 21st in the league on the ground. 2nd and goal from the 6. And Marino's pass incomplete. He wanted McDuffie. So that'll bring up 3rd and goal. Anthony Parker was out there on the coverage. Well, Dan Marino says it's been a good year for me, but not great.
Yeah, all the records he's established, and it's certainly been documented that whenever he set or broke a
touchdowns, passing yardage, completions, attempts, all the categories that go into the quarterback rating, right. He has the all-time record.
Yeah, but they lost. When he broke every one of those records, they didn't win.
So a bittersweet season for Marino. If his team can get in the playoffs, it'll be much better.
Blitz.
Touchdown, Irving Fryer.
How about that one?
Anthony Parker was beaten, but it was threaded pretty well by Mr. Marino.
Pretty well, yes. I hope to tell you. He reads the blitz, see what's about to happen. All he needs is for the receiver to recognize it. Good separation by Irving Fryer. Actually, it's a pretty easy catch. And sometimes quarterbacks have to throw to receivers even when they're covered.
8th touchdown for Fryer.
The defender was between the quarterback and the receiver. Marino still puts it in there for the score.
And Stojanovic puts it in there for another extra point, and Miami has lengthened its lead to 17-6. As Irving Fryer has established a new career high in touchdowns in a season.
When I took the high endurance challenge from Old Spice, I really thought it was going to be a challenge. I mean, this is a challenge. This is a sure thing. It evaporates less quickly. It also lasts longer, protects better. Old Spice guarantees it. If you don't think it's the best, you call 1-800-PROVE-IT and they'll buy you a stick of your old deodorant. So if you're looking for a real challenge, go climb a mountain. If you're looking for the best deodorant, try high endurance from Old Spice. Because now you got proof. Guaranteed.
Oh, not now. It's 1 in the morning. My brain's fried.
Just give me your CD drive.
Give it a rest, will ya?
The Compaq LTE 5000. Has it changed your life yet?
Did you want regular or decaf? Hello? Regular? Or decaf? Regular?
Well, at least you know how to keep it from spilling. The powerful Accord V6 from Honda. Possibly the world's easiest decision.
Okay, Dad, I can take it from here. Can I use the computer now? Got it, Dad. Okay, Dad, I can handle it, Dad. Okay, son. Earth to Dad. Dad, no.
The Compaq Presario. Has it changed your life yet?
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Honda, who offers an impressive family of cars, sport utility vehicles, and minivans. By Visa, official card of the NFL. And by Coors Light. Grab a silver bullet and tap the Rockies.
The old steamboat paddler outside of the Trans World Dome along the Mississippi River. Miami off to a 17-6 lead, and turnovers have once again killed the Rams. 14 points Miami has scored off the 2 turnovers.
Yeah, Christmas gifts for the Miami Dolphins from the St. Louis Rams.
As Stojanovic kicks off, this will be J.T. Thomas, who had the 46-yard return earlier and has another good one here across the 40. And he's up to the 48-yard line. Finally brought down by Aubrey Beavers, but another excellent return by Thomas.
Yes. Pete Stojanovic, the kicker, was trying to do everything to stay out of the way of a tackle.
Unlike Miyasuchi.
Please do something. Somebody stop him somewhere. Generally, when the ball is kicked to one side of the field or the other, you keep the return on that side, but Thomas showing great speed here, able to break containment, get outside. Now you're going to see Stoyanovich show up here in a minute. Please, somebody knock. Thank you very much. You got him out of bounds. I don't have to get on the ground here. And Pete's playing center field, deep center field. Yes, thank you. Sideline.
So another 40-plus kickoff return for Thomas. Sets the Rams up in good shape. Ripping right to the air and right into the hands of a Miami defensive secondary. And it's Buckley who picks it off. But more importantly for the Miami fans at this point is an update. And for that, we go to Greg Gumbel in New York.
All right, Dan, thank you. At Oakland, the Denver Broncos pull even. John Elway, a 2-yard touchdown pass to Anthony Miller, and the extra point ties this game at 7. As you well know, if the Raiders lose, the Miami Dolphins are in the playoffs, Dan.
That is the truth, Greg. Miami can get in a bizarre situation by winning or losing today. But that is the key game. Oakland has to lose to Denver. Or tie.
Don't make it more complicated than it already is, Dan Hicks.
Fake in the round, O.J. McDuffie, and chasing him down was Kevin Carter, who read that early. Carter, the #1 draft pick out of Florida, and the first defensive player picked in the draft, makes the stop on McDuffie for a big loss.
And he's had a great season too. This kid came in here as a first-round draft choice, been a starter since day one. Not the biggest defensive end you'll find in this game, but very quick, very active. They like his contribution.
Wants to look good. He is a native of Miami.
And we got a lot of kids coming out of Miami. Florida produces an awful lot of good football players.
Loss of 5, second down and 15. Marino complete. McDuffie just across the 40-yard line. He'll still need another 9 or 10 yards for a first down as you look at the rest of the scores on this final regular season Sunday in the NFL. There's the Chicago winner of Philadelphia, which knocked the Rams out. They needed 3 combinations to get in, but that combination didn't work out. One of them did work out. Atlanta beat San Francisco today, but that's a moot point.
Yeah, it is.
Wide open is Gary Clark inside the 30.
Goodness.
Took a shot from Keith Lyle, but no one was within 8 yards of Clark.
And you got to give that one to Dan Marino. He looked off the safety, kept looking to the right, and then finally goes back to the left to Gary Clark. The safety had already committed to the right-hand side. Clark goes right up the seam. That's that veteran experience that Dan Marino has. You try to teach that to a young quarterback. Sometimes they get it, sometimes they don't. But Marino just moved the defense around to get Clark open and make the completion.
And he goes to work again, wide open. Eric Green is inside the 15-yard line. So the Rams have given up back-to-back big completions where no one was in the vicinity of the receiver.
Again, now that's just a corner route run by the tight end. He gets a free release off the line of scrimmage, which is, I don't understand why defenses allow tight ends off the line of scrimmage. Nobody even slowing them down. Green, an excellent receiver. Not caught many passes this year for the Dolphins, but can catch it and runs quality patterns.
1st and 10 from the 13. And Marino gives it to Parmalee, fighting for yardage close to the 8-yard line. Toby Wright came up from the safety spot to put the hit on him, along with Farr.
Parmalee's turned out to be a heck of a running back. You know, he couldn't get anybody's attention playing special teams. Just couldn't. And when Byers and other running backs get hurt, Terry Kirby last year, they got to use Parmalee. He turns out to be one heck of a running back, Dan.
Dan Marino begged Don Shula to get him in the lineup. Marino's pass out of bounds as he was in trouble being chased, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 5.
Communication there. Fryer was going to break back inside. He motions to Marino. Marino says, come on, man, I got pressure all over me. I can't stand there and wait forever. Good coverage here by Todd Light, but he takes away the outside. So Fryer's going to move back inside, but because of the pressure, Marino has to throw it early.
Ball at the 8, third down and 5. Dolphins, as you see, have a 17-6 lead, trying to add to it from the shotgun. Marino fires, complete. O.J. McDuffie, touchdown.
That's the slant again.
Second touchdown of the day through the air for Marino. First one to Fryer, and now he goes to the other side to McDuffie, who matches Fryer with his 8th touchdown reception of the season.
Again, now this is just the slant pattern. Zone coverage by the Rams on the goal line. You're taking a chance in throwing a zone against a quality quarterback like Dan Marino, and Marino just slices it, just finds that little space for the completion.
And Stoyanovich adds the extra point to make it 24-6 Miami. The Dolphins don't know if they're going to be in the playoffs. It doesn't matter what happens here, but they're running it up pretty good early on St. Louis.
We designed the new Acura TL series to provide you with so much comfort you'll be constantly reminded you're in a luxury car. And then we gave it an incredible lease offer that allows you to enjoy the rest of life's luxuries. Because after all, driving a luxury car should mean not having to compromise on anything. Lease rates as low as $369 a month with 0 down are now available on the TL series.
Toyota Wash, to make you strong, to keep you warm.
For inspiration.
There is only one thing you need. And bring me back a T-shirt.
Visa, the only card accepted at the 1996 Olympic Games.
And a hat would be nice, too.
You know,
Huh?
I made a decision today.
Uh-huh.
I'm not going back to the office.
Great.
Relax. I didn't say I wasn't going back to work.
The compact Presario. Has it changed your life yet?
Ah, the fresh autumn air.
Oh, the total darkness.
Where are those darn flashlights? Still works.
Dependable Duracell batteries. Nothing lasts longer.
We haven't used these since that blackout 2 years ago. Hey, where's mine?
The Copper Top. No battery is stronger, longer.
Rich Brooks' team began the season at 5-1 in mid-October, then lost 7 of 9, and has been officially eliminated from the playoffs today. A season that looked like this team was on its way to the playoffs has quickly fizzled. And we have a report that Denver has just scored a touchdown. That Raider and Broncos game significant to Miami's playoff hopes as Todd Kinchin runs it out across the 25-yard line. And let's get an update from Greg Gumbel with more. Greg.
All right, Dan, of interest to Miami Dolphins fans at Oakland, Aaron Craver, a 1-yard touchdown run for the Denver Broncos. The extra point makes it a 14-7 Denver lead. Denver making things look good for Miami fans. They're up by a touchdown, Dan.
Looking good indeed for Don Shula so far. You suppose that he's doing some scoreboard watching?
There's somebody watching.
The Dolphins?
Oh, there's somebody watching. Aaron Craver is a former Miami Dolphin, too. They originally drafted him.
St. Louis begins at the 25-yard line and right up the middle for 3 or 4 yards is Johnny Bailey.
Brian Cox this time lined up on the outside, plays middle linebacker. And this time he kind of floats inside. He's kind of the wild card in this Miami Dolphin defense. Has all the responsibility of calling the defensive signals, making the adjustments for the defense.
And he's up on the line, and here he comes, but Johnny Bailey goes the other way, spins his way to the 32-yard line.
it is kind of interesting, too. What they've done is they've moved Cox to an outside linebacker. They have Singleton and Beavers on the inside, 55 and 53. And because of the time here, 2:32 into the first half, trying to get some pass rush from him.
Short of the first down, 3rd and 4 at the 32. 2:22 left in the first half. Dolphins with a 24-6 lead. Ripping, rolling right. Alexander Wright at the 40 for the first down and out of bounds. And that stops the clock with 2:10. Troy Vincent on the coverage of Wright.
Alexander Wright earlier this season had back surgery and has come back to play for the Rams. Still probably one of the fastest, if not the fastest, player in the NFL.
Two-time winner of the NFL's fastest man. And can you imagine what St. Louis would have done with Wright healthy and Isaac Bruce? Bailey up the middle. As we've reached the 2-minute warning, Miami has a 24-6 lead over the Rams.
Critics across the country agree Heat has got it all. The stars, the excitement, and the acclaim. Time magazine declares Heat awesome, truly epic. Newsweek calls it the most impressive collection of actors in one movie this year. The New York Times says Pacino confronts De Niro and the sparks fly. And Siskel and Ebert give Heat 2 thumbs up. Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Val Kilmer. Heat, directed by Michael Mann. Rated R. Now playing at a theater near you.
This isn't just any sport utility vehicle. It's the first one from a luxury car maker. With heated seats, retractable mirrors, and power moonroof. The new Acura SLX. It's the most civilized way to leave civilization.
Day, freshman sensation Donovan McNabb leads the Orangemen of Syracuse against the Clemson Tigers. The Toyota Gator Bowl, New Year's Day on NBC.
Dan Hicks and Bob Trumpy, how do you concentrate on the game at hand, Bob? Denver just took a 14-7 lead. Good news for Don Shula.
Well, there's no question at halftime everybody on the Dolphins team will know what the score is. It's keeping the concentration of the players. That's difficult.
2nd and 7, rip and rolling right, chased out of the pocket, complete again to Alexander Wright. Troy Vincent on the coverage, and remind you that coming up at halftime, Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC. Halftime report, Greg Gumbel in the studio along with Mike Ditka, Joe Gibbs, the whole playoff picture, and all the scores and highlights. That's coming up at halftime on the Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC report.
But all that matters there is that the Broncos are leading 14-7 in Denver against the Raiders.
Rip into the air, complete to guess who? Isaac Bruce. Already over the 100-yard mark and adding to his totals. Timeout, St. Louis. 1:14 remaining in the first half.
So how's your headache?
Well, it's gone. That was fast.
So the Tylenol I gave you worked, even on your really tough headache.
Tylenol worked great, even on my tough headache.
So you were wrong.
I was wrong.
More than aspirin, more than ibuprofen. For headaches, doctors recommend extra-strength Tylenol the most.
I like a guy who can admit he's wrong.
I'm wrong a lot.
When's the best time to buy tires? Now, when they're all on sale at Sears. Top brands like Michelin, Bridgestone, Road Handler, and Goodyear at the only store that has them all. Sizes for just about every car and truck, all on sale. With Sears extended hours, you can get them evenings and Sundays. The only store with all these top tire brands has them all on sale. Now is the best time to buy, but only at Sears.
Believe it or not, with Hewlett-Packard's real-life imaging system, the print quality of HP's new DeskJet 600 series printers is so good that your work might just take on a life of its own. HP home printers, just what you had in mind.
4-on-3, lob to the rebound. Michael to the lane. Yes, sir. Another chance to run. Showtime.
Don Shula nervously pacing the sidelines. A minute 14 left before he gets to go into the locker room and get another update on the Denver-Oakland score.
They know, believe me, that pipeline on the sideline is a loud one. They know what the score is.
There it is, Denver leading Oakland 14-7. If Oakland loses, Miami is in the postseason, regardless of the outcome of this one. Johnny Bailey takes the handoff from Rippon and rips up the middle of the 12-yard line. And the clock continues to roll.
Yeah, now
to
Miami,
the 1 minute mark.
With Miami with 6 defensive backs. Now Rams running it right up to the middle of the defense here.
They need 1 yard for the first down. Bailey's got it and more. He's inside the 10, down to the 8-yard line. First and goal. Clock continuing to roll.
Good spot here for Rippon. Good veteran quarterback, knows how to use that clock, gets his team back to line of scrimmage, now takes the timeout because he had people spread on the wrong side of the field for the formation he wanted.
And the Rams have plenty of time to work with. 37 seconds left to the first half break. But Miami leads it 24-6.
People keep asking me, how does it feel to be Steve Young? Frankly, it hurts. Give me my Advil. Nothing has shown me that works better on aching muscles or proven that it lasts longer. Advil's the one.
For sore muscles, more doctors recommend Advil than any other pain reliever.
Nasty game.
Advil, advanced medicine for pain.
Rich Brooks from the sidelines along with Chris Miller. Mark Rippon, the quarterback now, and trying to take the Rams in to cut into the Miami lead. First and goal. Goes to the back of the end zone, and it is a touchdown by Todd Kinchin.
What a catch.
Woo! Good throw and a good catch by Kinchin for the score.
That ball was past him, and he catches it. They use Isaac Bruce. Look at the right-hand side of the screen as kind of the decoy underneath. There's 80, and on top of that is Kinchin. This ball is by him, and he catches it. Beautifully done. Kind of makes up for the fumble
on the punt return, which led to a Miami touchdown.
Oh, yeah, 3 guys covering Isaac Bruce. Kinchin alone at the back of the end zone. Rippon makes the throw for the score.
And here we go for two-point conversion attempt for the Rams.
Miami looks confused here.
Rippon trying to pass for it. This incomplete. It was intended for Bruce, so the Rams won't get to Troy Vincent. And Terrell Buckley on the coverage.
He's Don Shula, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins and the winningest coach in NFL history.
I've worked with hundreds of NFL players, and the great ones have one thing in common. They all received excellent coaching in high school. I have tremendous respect for high school coaches. They spend their lives teaching young players, providing leadership, and helping them through problems both on and off the field. That's why the NFL created a program to recognize high school coaches for the role they play in developing NFL players. Coach Otis Gray of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, is a finalist for the 1995 High School Football Coach of the Year. He was nominated by Isaac Bruce.
I understood that many young men that I coach needed love, they needed teaching, and above all, they needed guidance.
Congratulations, Coach Gray. And on behalf of the NFL, I want to thank you and all high school coaches for everything you do for the game of football and the young people who play it.
Rich Brooks, his first season in the NFL after 18 years at Oregon. Guided the Ducks through their first Rose Bowl in 37 years.
Yeah, last year this time he was preparing for Penn State. They had a great game plan. They blitzed Penn State on the first play. Kajana Carter ran over the linebacker, went 84 yards for a touchdown.
They would have liked to be preparing for the playoffs today, but the Rams are out. Miami still with a chance as Frank Wainwright takes the short kick by Asuci.
On a fair catch.
And at the 2-minute warning, Oakland losing to Denver 14-7, and that bodes well for Don Shula and Miami fans. Denver wins, Miami is in, regardless of what happens here.
Yeah, it could certainly turn this season around for the Miami Dolphins. Give them another shot next week. There's going to be no week off for the Miami Dolphins. They go as a wild card. They're going to play next week, but all they want is that opportunity to get into postseason. And they think with the attitude and the veterans, some of the veterans they have in this team, and number 13 at quarterback, they can wreak some havoc.
Flag on the play as Kirby takes it across the 30-yard line. He's brought down by Pfeiffer. Still waiting for the call from Mike Carey, but Sean Gilbert.
Offsides on the defense, number 90. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Yeah,
timeout Miami on the play.
Yeah, when you're on television and they focus on you that much, the penalty's on you no matter who it might be on. Yeah, the ISO man calls down to Mike Carey and says, make sure it's on Gilbert.
Irreversible. Sean Gilbert, another one of the first-round draft picks up front for the Rams, along with Carter in his 4th year out of Pitt. And Marino going downfield, and this one is complete to Randall Hill.
Oh, that's a busted coverage. Seconds to go in the first half. They got double zone coverage, corners up, safeties out. The safety is supposed to rotate out here to help the corner. Marino throws this beautifully. You're going to see the safety's too far inside. Well, how about that for a throw? Goodness gracious. Todd Light underneath. Again, a free inside release. Light just running with him. He's supposed to have safety help. That's why he lets him get by.
Just the 12th reception of the season for Randall Hill. He was a first-round draft pick a few years ago out of Miami. And a little bit shaken up.
Yeah, don't you remember when he was drafted? Everyone wondered why the Dolphins didn't take him. He goes to Arizona. Arizona cuts him loose. He comes back. They draft him and then trade him away. And then he finally comes back. Hasn't really been a great contributor for the Dolphins, but
great speed. But you're right. After one game his rookie year, he was traded to the Cardinals. Terry Kirby. And he's inside the 30-yard line on 1st and 10. And the clock stopped at 13. Dolphins have 2 timeouts left.
Well, this is awful now for the Rams. This drive started at the Miami 25. They've allowed Miami now to get in field goal range.
For the first down. And Marino lofting it up to Fryer, but a flag had come in. And the play clock may have expired before Miami's able to get it off.
Delay game against the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down. Please reset the game clock to 13 seconds.
And the record, penalty-wise, continues to grow for Miami.
Yeah, that one's hard to imagine. You're in this hurry-up set. It shouldn't take you that long to get the play executed here.
Ball moved back to the 30. It'll be second down and 6.
I'm not sure I wouldn't call the same play.
Fire was wide open.
Yes, he was. Let's try the same play again.
Marino buying some time and just quickly throwing it away. The clock stopped with 7 seconds left.
Let's see, 30 and 17, 47-yard field goal attempt. And Don Shula walking over to Mike Westhoff, I believe, the special teams coach. No, that's Gary Stevens. Do they take one more shot here and then try the field goal?
I would say they have time to get one shot in.
Yeah, Shula, Bernie Kosar, Gary Stevens trying to consult here. And there's Stojanovic, good long distance kicker.
Yeah, he's already hit a season-long 51, and he's hit from 59 yards.
This has got to be either end zone or very quick just to get 5 or 10 yards.
Marino lofts it up. Incomplete. And that stops the clock with 2 seconds, and we've been told that the Raiders have just scored a touchdown
14-14
against the Broncos, so the point pending would tie it at 14 in Oakland.
Oh, not going to be easy for the Dolphins again. Raiders win, they're in. They lose, Miami's in.
Not on the mind right now of Pete Stojanovic as he lines up a 48-yard attempt. And this one creeps over the crossbar. As time runs out in the half, 27-12 Miami. Let's send you to Greg Gumbel for the halftime report.
This is the Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC halftime report. Brought to you by Domino's Pizza. When it's gotta be great and it's gotta be now, it's gotta be Domino's.
Miami rolling in St. Louis. Pulled even with the Denver Broncos at 14 with only seconds left to play in the first half. Raider coach Mike White going with Billy Joe Hobart as the starter. Vince Evans has seen action. Oakland's second possession. Hobart to Darrell Hobbs, 11 yards and a touchdown, and the Raiders are up 7-0. But back comes John Elway and the Denver Broncos. Elway to Anthony Miller, 2 yards in the score to tie the game at 7. Vince Evans in at quarterback, pitches to Napoleon Kaufman. He fumbles. Harold Hasselback recovers. The turnover led to Aaron Craver's 1-yard touchdown and made it 14-7 Denver. But just seconds ago, Vince Evans to Derek Fenner, 9 yards and a touchdown, and they are tied at 14. Now, let us set the playoff picture for you in the AFC. If Oakland wins, they're in the postseason, and the Colts play at Buffalo early Saturday. The Raiders would be at San Diego here on NBC in the late game on Sunday. If Oakland loses, the Miami Dolphins are in the playoffs, and the Dolphins would be at Buffalo early Saturday. The Colts would be at San Diego late Sunday here on NBC. In the game that you are watching, the Rams trailing the Miami Dolphins. The score is 27-12 at halftime. Remember, this game doesn't matter to the Miami Dolphins. It's what the Raiders do that determines their fate. And in Washington, Carolina and the Redskins are at halftime. They are tied at 10. Earlier today, what a game here on NBC from Lambeau Field, where the Packers knocked off the Pittsburgh Steelers 24-19. Big day for Packer quarterback Brett Favre as usual. 23 for 32, 301 yards. Second play of the second quarter. Edgar Bennett from 9 yards out for the touchdown to give Green Bay a 7-0 lead. It was 7-3 late in the first half when Favre hit Robert Brooks for the 19-yarder. 14-3 Packers. Favre later threw his 38th touchdown pass of the year. That leads the NFL. 24-19, final minute of play. Steelers with a chance to win it. 4th and goal from the 6. Neil O'Donnell's pass dropped by wide-open Yancey Thigpen. The Packers win it and clinch their first NFC Central title in 23 years. The Packers win the title. They go into the postseason on a roll, Joe, but not a bad performance by the Pittsburgh Steelers today, and a fluke kept them from winning that game.
No, as a matter of fact, what I'd say, both these teams have red-hot quarterbacks, and you got to give Pittsburgh credit. They held out a lot of guys today, no running backs. I think both these teams have a great home field advantage, and they're playing excellent football right now.
Mike?
Well, you know, Greg, this was good for the NFL today. I mean, you saw two good teams on a typical NFL kind of day, and they played hard right down to the wire. They couldn't run the ball, but they sure threw it as well as you could ever see.
Green Bay's 11 wins, the most for them since 1966. At Soldier Field in Chicago, the Bears beat the Philadelphia Eagles today, 20-14. Eagle quarterback Rodney Peete and his dad, Bears assistant coach Willie, meet before the game. After a fumble by Pete, Eric Kramer to tight end Keith Jennings for a 15-yard touchdown. Chicago up by a score of 7-0. It was 10-7 Bears in the second. Kramer to Jennings again, this time from a yard out. For Kramer, his 29th touchdown pass, breaking Sid Luckman's team record. But the Chicago Bears needed an Atlanta loss to make the postseason. They come up short. The Bears win it, however, 20-14. In Kansas City, the Chiefs beat the Seattle Seahawks, eliminating the Seahawks from any postseason possibilities. Before the game, the KC5, led by defensive end Vaughn Booker, singing the national anthem. Neil Smith and Derek Thomas on backups, and maybe Tamarick Vanover inspired by the performance. He takes the opening kickoff 89 yards for a touchdown, his second kickoff return for TD this year. In week 1, he did it against these same Seahawks. Steve Bono then found Vanover in the second quarter from 9 yards out to make it 20-3 Kansas City. It was 26-3 in the fourth. Marty Schottenheimer got the Gatorade splash as the Chiefs win it and clinch home field advantage throughout the playoffs. 26-3 was the final score. In Buffalo, the Bills rested all their starters in a meaningless game. The Houston Oilers win it 28-17. In Atlanta, the Falcons needed a win to make the playoffs. They got it. They beat San Francisco 28-27. In control of their own destiny. 7-3 49ers in the first. Niners with a little trickery. Jerry Rice on the reverse. And this is a 41-yard touchdown pass to J.J. Stokes. Jerry's first touchdown pass of his career, 14-3 Niners. 21-10 in the second. Falcons starting quarterback Jeff George drilled by Tim Harris and is forced out of the game with a sprained neck. The Niners regain the lead in the fourth quarter on a field goal, with Bobby Hebert avoiding the rush, hits Terrence Mathis for a 37-yard touchdown play. And watch Mathis on the run to find the end zone. Atlanta takes a 28-27 lead. That was the final. The Falcons are on their way to the postseason. Here's a look at the NFC matchup. The Falcons are at Green Bay in the early game Sunday on Fox, and then late Saturday, the Detroit Lions are at Philadelphia to play the Eagles. In Cincinnati, the Bengals rallied from 24-3 down in the second half to win 27-24. Jacksonville over Cleveland 24-21 today. And in the Meadowlands, the New Orleans Saints capped off a terrible season for the Jets, 12-0. Jets get the first draft pick. We'll send you back to St. Louis for the second half and keep you updated on that Raider game. First, we'll step aside for these messages and news headlines from your local station.
From a distant galaxy came a brave alien commander. Now he's taken human form. And he wants to date an Earthwoman.
I want to hug her right now. She's not here. Look, I'm going to have to hug somebody.
Now he's doing everything he can to get her attention. But can an alien and a human find true love?
That's all I was asking for.
Catch John Lithgow and Jane Curtin in Third Rock from the Sun.
I want to have your baby.
Landing soon on NBC Tuesdays.
Want to take the guesswork out of buying a used car? Then you need to go to Vaden Nissan Used Cars. You see, our cars carry the Vaden Certified Value Seal, which means each one has a 30-day, 1,000-mile comprehensive warranty and a 5-day, 250-mile money-back guarantee. No questions asked. Now is an especially good time to visit because our stock and selection have never been better. Peace of mind, that's what you get when you buy a certified value used car from Vaden Nissan. Why not come in today? Vaden Nissan Used Cars in Savannah.
Floyd Adams, the businessman.
I know the value of reading, the value of self-education.
Floyd Adams, the politician.
I love challenges. I ran for all of my life because people said it couldn't be done.
Floyd Adams, the people's choice.
I felt it was time to step forward and make some changes.
Watch News 3 as Savannah creates modern history. Live coverage of Floyd Adams' inauguration, January 2nd on WSAV. It's history-making coverage you can count on. Happy Hanukkah from WSAV, Savannah.
This is the Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC Halftime Report. Brought to you by Domino's Pizza. When it's gotta be great and it's gotta be now, it's gotta be Domino's.
Welcome back, everyone. Along with Mike Ditka and Joe Gibbs, I'm Greg Gumbel. The Green Bay Packers today clinched the NFC Central title with a dramatic 24-19 win over the Pittsburgh Steelers. And after the game, Jim Gray talked with a thrilled Packer coach, Mike Holmgren.
Mike, it wasn't easy. It came down to the last play, but it's your first title since '72 and a home field advantage. Describe what's going on in this stadium.
Well, you know, Jen, I told you the crowd really helped us today. It was just one of those classic games. I think the world of Bill and what he's done there, and I think they might be in the Super Bowl, and I'm hoping, who knows, maybe we can play again in a couple weeks.
Talk about the guts of Brett Favre and his injury. Will he be all right?
I think he's going to be okay. He landed on the football, and he was spitting up a little blood. He's a tough cookie, so I thought Jim McMahon came in and did a couple good things in a tough situation. I can't say enough about the team, though, right now.
Brett will be okay for next week?
I'm pretty sure he'll be okay.
Mike, congratulations. Thank you.
Jimmy. Thank you.
Greg?
All right, Jim Gray. So with the Packer win today, here's how the NFC playoff picture looks. Wild card matchup next weekend, Atlanta at Green Bay. The Detroit Lions go to Philadelphia to play the Eagles. Joe, let's first talk about Atlanta and Green Bay. Both these teams, terrific performances today.
Great performance. Who would have guessed the Falcons beat the 49ers? I think now, though, you've got Atlanta going to Lambeau Field. The Packers have won 17 of the last 18 games up there. And not only that, you've got the run and shoot going up to play outdoors. Plus, you've got one of the hottest pass offenses, #2 in the entire NFL, going against number 30 on pass defense. Atlanta doesn't play good pass defense. It looks like a bad matchup for Atlanta.
In the other game, Mike, Detroit goes to Philadelphia. The Lions finishing the season strong, and Philadelphia looked very shaky today.
You know, since they threatened the coach with his job, Wayne Fontes, he's run 7 in a row. They ran the table. They're playing great. Mitchell, Moore, Perriman, Barry Sanders. I mean, they got an outstanding football team. The only question I have, whether they can take the step up and go outside and play. I'll tell you, Philadelphia did not play good today. They did not run the ball, which is their trademark, and they did not have a good day throwing the ball. To me, it's not a good matchup either. Detroit should win the football game, but then it depends on the weather. The weather condition could hurt them a lot.
All right, meanwhile, in the AFC, that situation is still up in the air. If the Raiders win, then Indianapolis will travel to Buffalo, and the Raiders will be in San Diego. If Miami is in the postseason, then San Diego will host Indianapolis, and Miami will be at Buffalo. The Buffalo Bills and Miami split, but that'd be an interesting return for Brian Cox to Buffalo, wouldn't it?
Well, it sure would be. I think the thing that Buffalo has going for themselves is outside, late in the year, they've been awful good against Miami. Miami's had a tough time late in the year in bad weather.
And if Indy goes to Buffalo, Mike, Buffalo won 2 straight from the Colts this year.
Yeah, I think, you know, Indy puts too many of their apples in one basket, and that's Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh is playing outstanding football, but he can't do it by himself. Right now, it doesn't look like the Indianapolis line can hold the Buffalo rush away, and you'd have to go with Buffalo in that game.
All right, Mike, still much to be determined. We will watch the rest of the afternoon. We'll step aside here, and our NFL on NBC halftime activities continue.
Halftime in St. Louis. Miami leads it by 15, 27-12, and we'll bring you back to St. Louis for the second half kickoff after these messages and a word from your local station.
On Wings, the whole gang meets Antonio's new girlfriend. Then it's exploding food on News Radio. And what's Roz's secret fantasy?
Strip naked and hurl myself at that glass partition.
Plus, an all-new Laura Kett is looking for love on the internet.
Enter ID, Hemingway.
General, someone's deployed the Hemingway missiles.
All-new Laura Kett, must-see TV, NBC Tuesday.
If time is money, then save time and money at Stokes Honda, Toyota, or Mitsubishi in Beaufort, South Carolina. You won't have trouble finding what you're looking for at Stokes. Stokes has over 300 pre-owned vehicles to choose from at the lowest prices. That's more than $3 million worth of inventory, and that includes all makes of cars, trucks, vans, both import and domestic. Reestablish your credit with a quality new car dealer. Stokes is the credit rebuilder. Stop in today at Stokes Honda, Toyota, or Mitsubishi in Beaufort, South Carolina.
Happy holidays from WSAV Savannah.
In Atlanta, the greatest spectacle in sports. The Olympic Games return to America on NBC.
To Galloway, his
B turns the corner, and Galloway still not done. Cutting back the other way, gets a block. Galloway's an open field. And Esiason looking to fire for the end zone. And it is caught. Touchdown! Touchdown for the Jets. There we go. Let's see there.
NBC Sports and the National Football League thank you for your support in 1995. Now, please join us on the playoff road to Super Bowl 30 next month in Phoenix.
Touchdown! 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 He's in for the winning touchdown!
We're ready for the opening kickoff of the second half. Miami has taken advantage of a couple of St. Louis Rams turnovers, turned them into a couple of touchdowns, and has the 27-12 lead as Dean Biasucci kicks off for St. Louis. McDuffie and Irving spikes back deep. It'll be Spikes at the 7-yard line. And he's brought down at the 30-yard line, and that's where Miami will take over. Once again, as we take a look at the Coors Light halftime statistics, you look at the turnover category, Bob, 3 for St. Louis, just 1 for Miami.
Look at that. Total yards for St. Louis is 204. Isaac Bruce has 133 of that 204 on 6 catches. How good is that kid?
Jerry Rice reset Charlie Hennigan's receiving yardage, receiving yardage in a season earlier. He's got 1848. So Isaac Bruce needs 142 more yards to pass Jerry Rice, who has now set the standard, as Eric Green picks up the first down for Miami, well across the 40 to the 43. Carlos Jenkins on the stop of the big tight end.
You know, Eric Green has been a big part of this game plan today. We've seen him involved in an awful lot of plays. He's not been able to practice much this season because of a bad knee. He's been more involved really in the blocking for the running game. That hasn't worked either, but today, using Eric Green, using him a lot.
And as Miami sets up at 1st and 10 at the 43, we'll give you another Oakland-Denver scoring update in case you missed it at halftime. Flags come in. Parmalee gets the carry, but Denver took a 17-14 lead at halftime with a Jason Elam field goal of 45 yards. So they lead Oakland 17-14. Mike Carey.
Before the snap, there was a false start on the offense. Number 78. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So the Denver-Oakland score at halftime. Good news for Shula, because if Denver beats Oakland, Miami is in, regardless of the outcome of this one. And there it is at halftime. Jason Elam's field goal of 45 yards could turn out to be pretty big.
Yeah, I imagine there's some people on that Miami sideline who are rooting for a lot of Denver Broncos out there. A lot of them.
But if Miami gets in the playoffs, they want to go in on a winning note. And so far, they're looking pretty good with the lead over the Rams as Parmalee takes it into the middle. And he's still not back to the original line of scrimmage as Figueroa made the stop.
With those 2 turnovers and now the 15-point lead, 27-12, Miami can be very, very conservative. This is a perfect spot to have a good running game, which the Dolphins in 1995 don't seem to possess. But you're going to see very high percentage stuff. Very few chances taken in this second half now.
Which leads us to the question that we posed at the top of the game. Marino's still in the game. Now, I know that the Denver-Oakland game is far from over, so... But Marino's still in there, and it doesn't matter what the outcome of this game is. Just gets the playoff with 1 second left. Gets it off to Keith Byers, and he's still not back to the original line of scrimmage.
Roman Piper, 58, with pressure, knocked Dan Marino down from the backside. Figueroa was with good coverage out there. You know, your question about Dan Marino. If there's Piper, you're going to see the pressure coming from outside. He's unaccounted for. It's supposed to be a guard or a center come out there. That's a free shot. But look, if the Rams start blitzing Miami heavy and Marino starts taking some hit, then you take him out. Until then, he's your guy.
All right, from the 41. 3rd and long. Marino has time, picks up the first down. O.J. McDuffie trying to outrace a Ram, and he does so, finally dragged down at the 12-yard line by Toby Wright.
Well, this TWA Dome. This place now sounds like a federal office building. Nice deep crossing pattern by O.J. McDuffie. Excellent pass protection. Marino waits. Look at that. Right over the outstretched fingers of a defensive back. Number 23 for the Rams. It's Gerald McBurrows. McDuffie catches the ball in full stride, turns it into a huge gain.
I believe that was Fryer who just laid a huge block on Lyle as well to make sure McDuffie could get down there even further as Parmalee gets the carry. And Parker, who made the tackle, is slow in getting up. And the numbers for Marino, pretty solid. 260 yards already, a couple of touchdowns. The interception, which didn't turn out to be bad at all because Pfeiffer fumbled the football and Miami got it right back.
I think that's a stinger in his shoulder or arm. The way he's favoring that arm, like it just goes limp, like somebody just took it off with a hatchet.
So with the official timeout and the injured Parker being tended to.
Yeah, if we can pick up what happens on the play here. Yeah, kind of bent his neck funny. That's a neck stinger, a shoulder stinger on Parker.
Last year, more than 6 million people got into a Chevy truck. This year, it'll be even easier.
Are you planning on serving heartburn for the holiday?
But, Dad, you love peppers.
I love sausage too, but my stomach.
Ah, wait till you see the appetizer.
Pepcid AC acid controller?
Take one little Pepcid AC before dinner, and you can stop heartburn before it even starts.
Stop heartburn before it starts?
You see, Dad, Pepcid AC controls acid for 9 hours through the night so you can sleep.
Oh. Say, you think we have enough peppers?
For the holidays, you can be heartburn-free with Pepcid AC.
At Transamerica, we've helped 1 million people live a better life with consumer loans. And millions more plan for retirement. We've provided the security of life insurance for 15 million lives and provided millions to finance educations. We also underwrite hopes and dreams. Transamerica. Life insurance, retirement plans, commercial and consumer loans.
Opening series of the second half for the Dolphins, and they are just outside the 10-yard line of the St. Louis Rams. 2nd down and 9. They can pick up a first down. Dexter Davis has been inserted in the lineup for Anthony Parker, who is shaken up. Once again, there is the halftime score from Oakland. Denver leading 17-14. Keith Byers gets the call, and he gets basically nowhere. Figaro in there with a host of Rams.
Yeah, tried to slip him through that blitz coming, but a good tackle by the middle linebacker.
There's Bernie Kosar, who started a couple of games in place of Dan Marino when he had an injured hip, an injured knee earlier this year. Both games resulted in losses.
Has a budding greeting card business.
Oh, he does?
Bernie Kosar, yes. Trying to branch out from being a backup quarterback.
Good time of year to start one. 3rd down and 9 now for Miami. And coming across from the right side this time was Fred Stokes.
Before the snap, false start on the offense. Number 78, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
I don't think you can find an offensive tackle in the league who likes domes. Richmond Webb, you want to watch your opponent. You don't want to look into the football. And he starts leaning back, anticipating the snap because he can't really hear the snap. All offensive tackles hate domed stadiums.
Well, Richmond Webb, a Pro Bowler in each of his first 6 seasons. But the penalty there has moved the ball back to the 15. 3rd and 14. Marino firing to the end zone, and this one is picked off. And that is Toby Wright who came out with it. It was Pfeiffer who deflected it. And Wright picks up his 6th interception of the season to thwart the Miami drive.
Danny, you got 2 Miami receivers in the same spot here. Somebody's wrong somewhere. You got one underneath. That's O.J. McDuffie, but the tight end, Eric Green, was underneath. And it looked like there was about 3 or 4 different defenders right there at the spot. Again, I'm not sure who's wrong here, but watch underneath where this ball is intended to go. There's another receiver. See there, it kind of draws one more guy.
McDuffie. And so the 2nd interception of the game thrown by Marino. And the Rams take over at the 15 with a 1st and 10. And a pitch to big Jerome Bettis. Turns the corner and is swatted down at about the 19-yard line. Michael Stewart, strong safety on the stop for Miami.
He was the entire offense of the Rams the last 2 years, Jerome Bettis. When Rich Brooks came in here as the head coach, Rich Brooks made the choice to de-emphasize Jerome Bettis. Marino on the sideline with his receivers. Look, you got to bet that he's going right to the receiver. That's on me. That's on me. That's my fault. Shouldn't have thrown it. We'll get it back. He takes responsibility for mistakes made.
He took responsibility for a key interception last week in Buffalo late as well. As Rippon's pass complete to Bettis. Did he get the 1st down? It'll depend on where they spot it. Needed to get across the 25-yard line.
Bettis doesn't catch many. That's just his 18th catch of the season. And of course, last year, I think he carried it 2,000 times for the Rams. It seemed like it.
Back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. Pro Bowl seasons in his very first 2 years in the NFL. And he does pick up the 1st down. Fake pitch to Bettis that time, and a wheel and fire to Bruce. And he's got another 1st down.
Oh, now here's another part of this kid that you got to love. He's up against Troy Vincent. Watch the hand combat that goes on here between Vincent and Bruce. Outside release. He fights, struggles. He wants that football. That's his 7th catch of the day. You know, for a kid just his 2nd year in the NFL, he knows a bunch. Somebody has taught him very well how to play wide receiver in the NFL.
You don't want to compare him to Jerry Rice so early in his career, but he has that same sort of awareness as to where everybody is when he catches it. And reverse around the side to Bruce. He's got another 1st down into Miami territory. Buckley finally chased him out, but it has been the Isaac Bruce show for the Rams.
Always been a receiver, even as a young kid. Felt like when he came to camp last year, he had an advantage over other receivers because of his experience at Memphis and the passing game that they ran. The only difference is he doesn't show blazing speed there, but he's one of those guys that does. He gets open. I mean, you can't teach that. He just gets open.
Can you believe this guy did not make the Pro Bowl?
I know, that's a tragedy.
Well, there were so many great receiving performances turned in this year. Herman Moore and Paramount Lions in the NFC along with Jerry Rice, but as a penalty flag is thrown in.
5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
Delay of game.
You mentioned those great receivers. I think there are 6 NFC receivers with 100 or more catches coming into today's game.
Coming into today, Jerry Rice had become the 6th after the Monday night game.
Is that unbelievable?
Of last week.
100 or more receptions for 6 guys in the NFC. Oakland.
3rd quarter update. Oakland has regained the lead with a touchdown on Denver, 21-17. They lead it. If Denver wins, Miami is in. Well, that isn't the case right now as the score stands in Oakland. We'll keep you updated to the 2nd as Kinchin hauls in the Rippon pass. Well, let's see how that touchdown occurred in Oakland and send you to Greg Gumbel in New York. Greg.
All right, Dan, it was 17-14 Denver. John Elway to Ed McCaffrey. Pretty good gain until McCaffrey loses the handle right here. Albert Lewis picks it up and returns 38 yards to the Denver 6-yard line. One play later, Billy Joe Hobart to Timmy Brown, 4 yards and a touchdown. With the extra point, the Raiders take a 21-17 lead. Dan?
All right, Greg, thank you very much. Miami fans across the country hoping to see Miami get in as Isaac Bruce hauls in another one.
You know, you realize how when you see an update like that, how big a part turnovers play in this game? I mean, Kansas...
Ask the Rams about that.
Sure, the way they started.
Ask Rich Brooks about that.
Yeah, but Kansas City, the way they protect the football and their plus on the give-take.
The turnover ratio.
Sure. I mean, I don't know how you coach. Don't turn it over. But the successful teams year in and year out always protect the football.
Last 11 games, 22 interceptions thrown by the Ram quarterbacks, and they've lost 13 fumbles. It's just been absolutely one catastrophe after another. And not for Isaac Bruce, who hauls in another one, good for a first down to the 34.
This young man is from Fort Lauderdale. They had a big snowstorm up here in St. Louis. I said, how'd you handle that snowstorm? He said, well, luckily it was our day off. I did not leave the house. I sat in the chair in front of the window and watched 8 inches of snow fall on the ground. I could not believe it.
9 catches, 156 yards. He already has his 9th 100-yard game of the season. Rams trailing 27-12. 5 minutes left in the third. Jerome Bettis up the middle for another Ram. First down to the 23.
Making the transition from fullback to running back in this new Washington/San Diego style offense. And the people in St. Louis have not really been very happy with the performance of Jerome Bettis. But you make that transition from fullback to running back, it's tough. This guy's 240-plus pounds. When he gets to defensive backs, they are looking for shoestrings to tackle. You know, they're looking for fingers to hang on, so you don't want to hit this kid in the chest.
Well, a fake to Bettis that time. Deep drop sets up the screen to Bettis, but Miami is there. They miss some tackles. Bettis on the loose inside the 10. Bowling his way inside the 5. First and goal, St. Louis.
Lousy tackling by Miami.
And that is what has been or caused the demise of Miami late in the season. Poor tackling. Another look here.
Certainly poor tackling last week, but again, who's the first guy? It's Hollier and also Klingbeil, who is that's a clean miss. And then he starts absolutely running over people. Here's Brian Cox. Brostick, the center, makes the block on him. He's totally out of position. And J.T. Thomas with a nice block. Well done, Rams.
And here we go. Bettis this time stopped cold. But Bettis' 1,000-yard seasons were the first for a Ram since Eric Dickerson pulled it off 10 years ago. And that's how heavily he was to be relied upon this season. But when Rich Brooks came here, he wanted to diversify the offense a little bit and not make Jerome the focal point.
Yeah, they've actually run for more yards the Rams have total as a team in 1995. But they've done it with several people, not just giving the ball to Jerome Bettis 35 times a game.
Rippin looping it up. Isaac Bruce, touchdown.
Oh, man.
Just when you don't think it could get any better, it does.
I mean, this is a second-year player, Dan. It's not like he's been in the league for 10 or 12 years and runs patterns like that.
Biasucci for the extra point.
I grew up watching the Marx Brothers down in Miami playing for the Miami Dolphins. This one you put in a time capsule.
His 13th touchdown of the season.
The internet will be the biggest thing since the Industrial Revolution. The internet will be just a chat line for physicists and video game addicts. Someday your web address will be everything. One day on the internet, the Colonel's secret formula will whiz past the secret formula for Pepsi. What will the internet be? No one knows. But we engineer systems in anticipation of this vast uncertainty, so you can approach it as one huge opportunity. Digital, whatever it takes.
You've been holding back all year. Isn't it about time you did something good for yourself? Like stopping by your Chevy Geo dealer during the year-end countdown and getting low 4.9% APR financing or an affordable smart lease on this fabulous Chevy Lumina. It includes great features like standard dual airbags, room for 6 adults, and powerful V6. And that's just for starters. Don't put off till tomorrow what you can enjoy today. Chevy's year-end countdown ends January 8th.
Maybe you helped and didn't know it, or were part of it and just forgot. If you joined the American Express Charge Against Hunger over the last 2 years, you made a difference. But the fight isn't over. Every time you use your American Express card, we'll give to Share Our Strength, a leading anti-hunger group. Because now through December 31st, the Charge Against Hunger is on again.
NBC Tonight. This team of losers just signed a sexy secret weapon. Supermodel Kathy Ireland. Ooh, doggy breath. Necessary roughness. 9, 8 Central NBC Tonight.
Well, there are the numbers for Isaac Bruce. You see what Jerry Rice has done, 1848. That NFL record was established today in a loss against Atlanta. So he's over 100 yards still away from the record, but who knows what can happen. He's got 10 for 161 yards. As Miami brings the kickoff out across the 25-yard line. Lavelle Pinkney with a special teams tackle for the Rams. Well, the Rams cut into the lead, but they still trail by 8, 2:43 in the third left.
Entertainment Weekly calls Nixon the best movie of the year. An absolute masterpiece.
You have everything you ever wanted. Why can't you just enjoy it?
Oliver Stone has made a compelling, fascinating film. Siskel and Ebert give it 2 thumbs up.
Daddy, they don't know the real you.
Anthony Hopkins delivers an Oscar-caliber performance.
When do the rest of us stop paying off your debts?
This is Nixon's finish. Nixon, rated R, now playing.
Introducing the all-new Astro Interior.
Like a rock, I was strong as I could be. Like a rock, nothing ever got to me.
No matter how much it changes, it never forgets that it's a Chevy truck.
Like a rock,
the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. By Pepsid AC Acid Controller. You can be heartburn-free with new Pepsid AC. By Transamerica. The people in the pyramid are working for you. And by Digital Equipment Corporation. Digital, whatever it takes.
Well, the Rams have pulled within 8, but they've given up 21 points off turnovers to the Miami offense, which begins this series at the 28. Oakland has taken a 28-17 lead over Denver. And I'm sure we'll be sending you to New York for an update on that game as Marino fumbles it. And speaking of Greg Gumbel, here he is. What happened, Greg?
Dan, last time we talked, you and Trump were talking about the importance of turnovers in Oakland territory. Denver's John Elway throws. Terry McDaniel picks him off. And then just minutes later, Billy Joe Hobart, his 3rd touchdown pass of the day, 48 yards to Timmy Brown with the extra point. Oakland leads the Broncos 28-17. Not good news for the Miami Dolphins, Dan.
Not at all. They needed an Oakland loss, Greg. Oakland wins. The Raiders are in. Don Shula leading 27-19, but hoping it's all for naught. Marino fires this one off the mark. He wanted Eric Green. And that brings up third and long, 17.
You know, Miami's had trouble second half of a lot of football games. I can't tell you why, but the turnover again changed the personality of this game. The Rams get 14 points from turnovers. Excuse me, the Miami Dolphins get 14 points from the Rams in turnovers. Rams just get 7 from a turnover from Miami. They allow this team to hang around. The Rams are going to make them pay for it.
Fans getting into it too. Marino over the middle. Kirby has it. Well short of the first down. Stopped just short of the 25-yard line, and Miami will have to punt it away. Sean Gilbert made the stop on Kirby.
27-12 at halftime. A lot of these fans in the TWA Dome here are saying, well, now next score by Miami, we're heading home. Miami's about to score. Marino throws the interception. No. Mildred, we're hanging around in the end now.
Well, they may say this game means nothing as far as Miami's playoff hopes, but stick around because Isaac Bruce is having a pretty special day. Kinchin takes it in, and he's into Miami territory. All the way down to the 38. Well, Bob, they like to refer to him as crazy legs. Crazy things can happen when Kinchin gets it. He can fumble at times, but he can also make some exciting plays. And he's got a good punt return there, which puts the Rams in good position, trailing by 8.
Like a rock, I was strong as I could be. Like a rock, nothing ever got to me.
After the kind of day you put in, all you want to do is fall into a nice, comfortable easy chair in a quiet place.
Like a rock.
Of course, sooner or later, you'll have to go home.
You think in color. Your computer thinks in color. So how come everything you print comes out black and white? Black and white. The Epson Stylus color printers, starting at $349 for the kind of brilliant color that will let your ideas be heard. You've got to see it in Epson color.
Holiday greetings from Budweiser. The people who bring you Budweiser wish you and yours the very best of everything this holiday season.
It's been a pass-crazy year in the NFL. More yards passing this year than any other year in NFL history. And look at all the receivers with at least 100 catches.
And they're all in the NFC. I thought the NFC was the run conference in the NFL. Look at that. Metcalf went over 100 today. Herman Moore with 123. Teammates on there. Moore and Perriman from Detroit. Bruce has got 10.
114.
Bruce has got 10 for 161 today, and he's about to get another one.
There it is.
He's in the slot, a free release. They give him so much respect deep. Well, does he make it look easy or what? His 11th catch of the day, and until the Miami Dolphins cover him, the Rams are going to keep throwing it to him.
He's up to 182 yards. And St. Louis is up to the Miami 17. Bettis on the ground gives everybody a chance to catch their breath.
So you suppose down in Fort Lauderdale in the Bruce household, they got all the blinds drawn. They got the shades down. They hope the house is insulated enough that no one in the neighborhood can hear the entire family hanging from the chandelier. Huh? You bet they are.
Seconds winding down in the third quarter. Rippon's pass incomplete. Marv Cook was in the vicinity. Dwight Hollier was the linebacker in coverage on the H-back.
Yeah, I think everybody in the stadium was shocked. Why weren't we throwing it to Bruce? What's Cook doing out there? I didn't know he was a receiver. Now Isaac Bruce is in the slot. You see the motion by Cook. Looks like it's man coverage again. A good release. But the linebacker, Brian Cox, drops out underneath, so Rippon really throws it away.
And all of this Bruce frenzy, Rippon is probably on his way to another 300-yard game. He's already up to 260 yards as Miami takes a timeout with 6 seconds left. Brian Cox is hurt. We'll try to get an update on him when we return to St. Louis.
AT&T presents A Sure Thing, or is it?
They win it! Incredible!
In 1994, time was running out on the Dolphins as they closed in on a game-tying field goal. Dan Marino would surely spike the ball to stop the clock, or would he?
See that? That's where I'm going to start my business.
What about all those things you need to know, like financing and writing business plans?
Somebody's already helped me get through that.
Who? Accountants? Consultants?
AT&T.
Introducing AT&T Resources for New Business. Now, starting a business has just been made easier.
Yeah, they really helped me get my business off the ground.
It's not what you'd expect from a long-distance company, but that's the point. AT&T, for the life of your business.
In a gutsy move, Marino faked spiking the ball and went for the win.
He's looking. He throws. Touchdown, Dolphins! Mark Ingram! Caught it in the corner of
The clock play, proof that in the NFL, there's no such thing as a sure thing.
And this is a guy thing, right?
The all-new Tracer FX with its unique skin guard
Is this a sensitive part?
is designed to give a man a smooth shave with less irritation. Schick Tracer FX.
The sensitive type? I like that.
It's Ted the Bellhop's first day on the job. He will want to be you. And all he has to do is make it through the night. 4 rooms.
Hell of a night, huh, Ted?
Rated R. Starts Monday, Christmas Day, everywhere.
We saw Brian Cox on the sideline. Thought it was an injury. He just had a blowout on his right sneaker there. So I had to go, this high-tech world of NFL football, they go tape it up, and he's fine.
Well, let's update you on the Denver-Oakland score. It is 28-17, Oakland with the lead, but Denver has the ball on the Raider 12. Remember, Oakland has to lose for the Dolphins to get into the playoffs. 3rd down and 6 from the 13 of Miami for the Rams. Rippon steps up, incomplete. And he wanted Alexander Wright. 1 second left in the third. And we understand that the Broncos are now going to attempt a field goal to try to pull within 8. Speaking of field goals, here's Dean Biasucci on to try to make his 3rd of the game. Denver missed the field goal. Getting this information as it's happening. Denver missed the field goal, 28-17 there. Biasucci, seconds later, misses here.
What? Are these 2 games connected?
Yes, they are.
I thought so.
So the Rams miss, Denver misses, and Rich Brooks still trails by 8.
Tonight, gladiators, orgies, Julius Caesar, and the glory that was the ultimate empire, Rome. Lost Civilization, 7, 6 Central, NBC tonight.
News 3's Susan Rodman.
You know, this really is the most magical time of the year. People gather, neighborhoods turn festive. The whole city just radiates holiday charm. This is my first holiday season here in a long time, and I know it will be wonderful. From all of us here at News 3, thanks for making us welcome in your home, and best wishes for happy, safe holidays and a landmark new year.
Happy holidays from News 3. You're looking at the inside of a complex machine, News 3's Doppler radar display, and it's just looking for trouble. It watches dust move to see how fast the winds are. It counts raindrops to tell us how hard it's raining. And it's the only local display tied to the world's most powerful radars, live around the clock. What's this mean for you? It means we can help you stay ahead of bad weather. News 3's Skywatch Doppler. Now that's severe weather coverage you can count on.
Right now, you can get 3 crystals for just 99 cents when you buy regular fries and a medium Coke. That's right, 3 crystals for 99 cents with regular fries and a medium Coke. Better hurry, a deal this good won't last long.
Happy Hanukkah from WSAV, Savannah.
Ball League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the NFL is prohibited.
Don Shula pacing the sidelines like a nervous cat. More so than usual. Oakland with a 28-17 lead over Denver in Oakland. His team leading 27-19 here. And dropped behind the line of scrimmage is Parmalee. Jimmy Jones. Let's send you for an Oakland-Denver update and send you to New York. And Greg Gumbel. Greg?
All right, Dan, in Oakland, Jason Elam from 27 yards out just kisses the upright to the wrong side for Miami Dolphins and their fans. The score remains Oakland 28. The Broncos 17, halfway through the third, Dan.
All right, thank you, Greg. Marino firing away and incomplete. Wanted the big tight end Eric Green, incomplete. And that'll bring up 3rd and long. So here's the wild card situation. Saturday, Indianapolis or Miami will travel to Rich Stadium to take on Buffalo. If Miami makes the playoffs, they go to Buffalo no matter what the scenario. Detroit at Philadelphia, Atlanta at Green Bay, Oakland or Indianapolis at San Diego, an NBC game. That's the wild card game on Sunday. Terry Kirby reverses his field and gets nowhere. Stopped at the 17, 4th and long.
First drive of the second half, Dolphins go right down the field. Turnover, they've done nothing offensively since. Rams have turned it up several notches, made it very difficult for Miami. And I don't think Miami's floating here, but that turnover gave the St. Louis Rams life.
And the Rams have a chance to pick up some good field position. John Kidd's boot.
That's a good
nice
one.
High turns over spiral, and it is Kinchin at about the 34. Dropped at the 39. It looked like perhaps he'd lost the handle again, but the Rams have it. Trailing 27-19. Just a minute and a half into the 4th quarter in St. Louis.
The new Ford Taurus. When seen, it leaves an impression. When driven, creates a stir. When owned, lives up to its promise. And when judged, wins award after award after award after award. The new Ford Taurus, the success story that never ends.
Making the dream come true.
Hey, there are more presents to open.
Okay, Dad.
The compact Presario. Has it changed your life yet?
What did I used to do after school? Well, we used to watch a lot of TV. But... Good question.
The compact Presario. Has it changed your life yet?
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? By Black & Decker. It's how things get done. By Hertz. For business, for pleasure, nobody does it exactly like Hertz. And by Red Dog Beer. Bold yet smooth, unusually easy to drink. You are your own dog.
Beautiful evening in St. Louis. And Mark Rypien, plenty of time, going deep to Isaac Bruce. And that time he was well covered.
Safety help. Make sure. Don't turn this Isaac Bruce loose on me anymore, Troy Vincent says. Give me some help.
Well, he's 95 yards away from the record set by Jerry Rice.
He tries the little hitch and go, and you're going to see the safety coming in the picture at the last minute. Atkins. Yeah, well, we're going to make sure that Isaac Bruce doesn't get that 95 yards against us in this fourth quarter.
Well, there is another update from Oakland. They lead at 28-17. Miami fans hoping Denver can come back in that one so the Dolphins will get into the playoffs. And Rypien firing to the far side, and it's caught by J.T. Thomas, the rookie out of ASU. Just his fifth reception of the season. So that will bring up 3rd and 5 from the 44. The Rams needed 3 games to go their way today to have a chance of getting into the playoffs. The one that didn't was Chicago beating Philadelphia, but 2 other scores were quite surprising that went their way. Cincinnati beating Minnesota and Atlanta beating San Francisco. And that pass is incomplete. J.T. Thomas didn't have it.
Didn't catch it cleanly. Ball thrown low by Rypien. And I think if he catches it cleanly, Dan, they'll give him the reception. But watch this thing bounce. That's an awful tough catch. Yeah, it does make contact with the turf.
So 4th and 5. And Landeta comes in to punt it away. Landeta led the NFL in punting last season. He leads the NFC currently with a better than 44-yard average. And this one is drilled deep. But it's not going to check up when it's got that kind of hot streak going across this dome. It sails into the end zone, and Miami will come back and try again from the 20. A little over 12 minutes left in St. Louis.
For years, I dreamed of seeing Venice with my boyfriend, Tom. I'd whisper about palazzos, gondolas.
All he'd talk about is deadlines and business meetings.
Finally, I went and booked 2 romantic weeks on the Grand Canal with my Visa Gold card. Tom was completely surprised.
Scusa, ma chi è questo Tom?
Visa Gold. Purchase power to make dreams come true. It's everywhere you want to be.
I'm in this carpool where everybody wants to drive. It's your turn to drive my car. Because everyone agrees that my Ford Contour handles like nothing else.
I'll drive.
Driving, okay, you're driving. Yeah. Can you believe it? But when they find out it's loaded with things like air conditioning, rear window defrost, air filtration system, and a stereo cassette for a great low price, they'll get their own. And our carpool will be a convoy.
Every picture in my store tells someone's story. I've developed thousands of pictures over the years. And each and every one is on Kodak paper, because when I see Kodak on the back, I know I'll get Kodak quality on the front. And that's important, because when all is said and done, the one thing we all have to hold on to is our memories.
Ask for Kodak paper, the sign of a great photo finisher.
Christmas Day, a special present from the Peacock. 4 of the NBA's best teams take the floor on NBC. First, Mr. Robinson and the Spurs face Sir Charles and the Suns. Then, a rematch of last year's finals. Hakeem Olajuwon leads two-time defending NBA champion Houston against Shaq, Penny, and the Magic. A Christmas Day doubleheader on NBC.
Second half offense for Miami. Just 2 first downs, 51 total yards, -2 rushing yards in the second half.
And those 2 first downs came in the first drive of the second half, Dan. Been a long time since the Miami offense did anything.
So Marino will go to the air, and McDuffie tries to spin back and get it. That was Todd Lyne on the coverage, but the pass was behind him.
Actually, I think that play's probably designed to go behind McDuffie. With the man-on-man coverage down the sideline, you hope the familiarity between quarterback and receiver. There's Kozar talking to Gary Stevens, maybe suggesting a play. Bernie's very good at that.
Houston beating Buffalo 28-17.
There's the shocker. Atlanta over San Francisco. They're in. Atlanta's in.
Cincinnati, another, I guess you could call that a shocker. Minnesota playing very well. Loses 27-24. And Marino's pass complete across the 25. That is Green. Short of the first down. It'll bring up third down.
Now, Dan, if you look at the Miami Dolphins sideline, they lead this game 27-19. But I think you can tell that Don Shula knows the score of the Oakland-Denver game. He's got people on the sideline keeping him posted. I mean, I think they all know.
They are 1:39 left in the third in Oakland, where the Raiders have a 28-17 lead. Third and 3, in and out of the arms of O.J. McDuffie, incomplete, fourth down. Dexter Davis with a good play for the Rams.
Looked like he just got his hand in there. So they still only have 2 first downs in the second half, both in the opening drive, nothing since. Again, let's see if Carter just gets his hand in there. Dexter Davis does, just to knock the ball away.
So Kidd is back to punt again. Kinchin back at the 29 for St. Louis. Excellent punt by Kidd. Kinchin with another good move. Returns it 7 yards to the 32-yard line. So St. Louis trailing 27-19 with 11:27 left in the game. But is there just 11:27 left in the Dolphins' season? We'll be right back.
Welcome to Heathrow, Wilson. Is London what you expected?
Not exactly, sir. How are we going to find our rental counter?
We don't need a rental counter. We're with Hertz #1 Club Gold.
Gee, it's fast.
Exactly.
Sir, the car's waiting on your name in light.
Exactly.
And there's a canopy to protect us from the weather.
Exactly.
You know, sir, this is just like the States.
Not exactly, Wilson. You're on the wrong side of the road.
Sorry, sir.
There are 2 kinds of people in the world. Those who say they'll get around to it, and those who actually do. For those who've discovered there's greater satisfaction in putting things up than in putting them off, we present VersaPack from Black & Decker, a rechargeable battery system that powers an entirely new line of cordless tools. From now on, it's how things get done.
Tina, it's me. I'm temping. Some office. It's just one guy. I think he's just starting.
It's a phone for me?
No. Ward and Associates?
Jim Ward. I can do that if you want. I got him right here. No problem.
Oh, hi. It's your mother.
Ma, can I call you later?
Your stuff is printing.
I could have that ready as well. Tonight. I could put my whole team on it if you like. Absolutely.
Well, a lot of speculation swirling all season around Don Shula, and that, of course, will come when the team collapses. They started off 4-0, lost 3 in a row, and have lost 4 of the last 6 down the stretch when they really needed to put a run together, and have gotten themselves into this situation where they don't even control their destiny here. That is being controlled in Oakland. And Oakland is controlling the game, and that would put the Raiders in the playoffs. Alexander Wright hauls it in at the Miami 49.
Again, another broken coverage by the Miami defensive backs. You could see Gene Atkins and Terrell Buckley trying to decide who's going to take Alexander Wright. He was wide open. Nobody even close to him.
Split to the left side. The H-back. Rippon's in trouble, and down he goes. Tim Bowens on the stop as Rippon got just across the line of scrimmage.
First time we've called Tim Bowens' name all day. You know that? Defensive Rookie of the Year last year.
Number 1 pick. Great size, 6'4", 310 pounds. Now Denver has the ball at the Raider 20. Trailing 28-17. As soon as anything happens, we'll of course tell you about it and then send you quickly to New York and Greg Gumbel. Isaac Bruce. You know, that's a perfect example of the kind of reception that reminds me of Jerry Rice. Even though it's not for a big gain, he somehow has the awareness to knife in, not take a big hit, and still make something out of it.
Yeah, Jerry Rice, when you talk to him, 93 yards needed to pass Jerry Rice. Jerry's always talking about, I want to make big plays. Catching the ball is just part of what Jerry Rice and guys like Isaac Bruce and Herman Moore do. It's after they catch the ball that they're most interested in.
Denver first and goal at the 9, you Miami fans. We'll keep you updated. 3rd down and 7 here from the 45. Rippon chased out of the pocket, complete. Isaac Bruce.
Had 14 catches on it, 12 catches on the day.
Nobody even close to him, Trump.
Yeah, he's in the slot. This play is completely busted, but he moves with the quarterback. Atkins can't stay with him. His 12th catch of the day. This, for just a second-year player, this kid is on a 13th catch of the day.
He's over 200 yards. He has 201 yards. And a timeout called by the Rams. Their first timeout of the second half. And we'll take a timeout with 8:44 remaining. This is the NFL on NBC.
It's Gus's Guide to the Game.
Going deep. The most exciting part of the game.
Begin with the right call.
Then the technique.
Notice how I extend the thumb and forefinger, palm outstretched to support the massive weight of the ultimate deep dish.
The ultimate deep dish. Extra thick, extra zesty. Call now and get a large one-topping deep dish, just $9.99.
Sully, extend the pinky.
The man is a pro.
Oh, please, oh, please, oh, please. Just help me this once, and I'll never ask for anything again. Ever. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh.
Next time, get a dependable Interstate battery. We check them before you buy them for fresh power. Guaranteed.
It is a test, not just of strength, but of the power of the mind. And if you complete the journey, you will be changed forever. The few, the proud, the Marines.
NBC Tonight. On Mad About You, spend Christmas Eve with your favorite couple as Paul and Jamie share the holiday with family.
Mom? She called me Mom. You don't have to do that.
And what's Christmas Eve without the dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy? Hope and Gloria following Mad About You, NBC Tonight.
Miami leading 27-19. We're going to give you another scoring update in Oakland from the Bronco Raider game on 1st and 10. The give is to Jerome Bettis. Jason Elam has added a 27-yard field goal for Denver, and now the Broncos are within 8, 28-20. They've just started the fourth quarter. By the way, that was Robinson on the previous call. But
when we were in commercial, someone just walked over to Don Shula and told him what the situation was, told him about the field goal. On that sideline, the Miami Dolphins know exactly the situation they're in. They lead here, but it may be absolutely meaningless to be leading and or win this game.
Rypien avoiding the Miami rush. And this one incomplete at the 15, and a flag has come in as he wanted Isaac Bruce. Troy Vincent was on the coverage.
Pass interference on the defense. Number 23. Spot foul, automatic. First down.
The official in the end zone throws the flag. You're going to see Vincent go right up Bruce's back. When Bruce hesitates a little bit, there's actually I'm not sure that that's worth a flag. But the guy in the end zone, the back of the play, sees everything that happens, throws the flag. It counts, and the Rams are driving nicely
at the 14 of Miami. Screen set up, smelled out nicely by Miami as Troy Drayton is dropped for a loss. Let's send you to New York for another Oakland-Denver update. Greg Gumbel. Greg.
All right, Dan, the Denver Broncos came oh so close. John Elway for Anthony Miller at the back of the end zone, right through his hands. That's when they had to settle for the Jason Elam field goal from 27 yards out, 28-20, with about 12.5 minutes to play now in Oakland. Dan.
All right, Greg, 7:25 left here at the Trans World Dome. Dan Hicks and Bob Trumpy. Miami up 27-19. Second down and 16 for the Rams. Rypien finds Bettis but can't get it to him. Standing right in front of Bettis was Chris Singleton.
Just enough pressure by Marco Coleman to get Rypien out of the pocket slightly, and Singleton is out there, and Bettis can't make the catch.
By the way, Mark Rypien has gone over 300 yards for the third straight game since taking over the starting quarterback job. Well, actually, he's 3 yards short of it. 297 yards now with the 6-yard loss turned in by Bettis, so he was over it.
Now 3rd and 16, he's about to go over it.
Brian Cox with pressure again. This incomplete. It skipped in to Kinchin. Incomplete. 4th down. And out comes Biasucci.
On pass rush situations, you use Brian Cox as a defensive end. He is on Ashmore, the offensive tackle. Ashmore gets him on the ground. Yeah, now you see.
He's provoking Brian Cox, trying to bait him.
Absolutely. Sure, his reputation. Get up, throw a punch like you did last week.
38-yard field goal attempt on the way for Biasucci, and it is good. And he is 3 for 4 on the afternoon, and that gets the Rams within 5 at 27-22. Well, tomorrow, join NBC Sports. Exciting NBA doubleheader starting with NBA Showtime at 3 Eastern Time. Then it's a couple of great games. David Robinson and the Spurs go to Phoenix to take on Charles Barkley and the Suns. Game 2, world champion Rockets make a Christmas voyage to the Kingdom. They'll take on Shaquille O'Neal and Orlando. Holiday NBA doubleheader Christmas Day on NBC.
Shaquille O'Neal's thumb looks pretty good to me, doesn't it?
Go ahead.
He misses with that broken thumb. He's hanging from the rafters, the rim, the backboard. What a man.
Well, Dan Marino hoping this is not the final game of a very frustrating season. Oakland on top in Oakland, 28-20. A lot of people that predicted Miami in the Super Bowl with the free agent acquisitions they got, Trump.
Hey, after 4 weeks, there were a lot of believers, including the Dolphins.
This is Irving Spikes. Spikes with a seam up the left side and into Rams territory and dragged down by number 41, Todd Light, who saved the touchdown.
Wow, is that a big return?
54-yard return by Spikes.
Now Miami has great field position to do just about anything he wants. You know, until he's tackled, I do not believe Irving Spikes is touched. I mean, he is right behind the his escorts there. No one touches him there. A little move to the right. Right here. Well, maybe
he takes a shot. He might have touched him.
That's not a that
doesn't
shot.
count.
That's not a shot. That's a touch.
I know you too well, Trump, and your respect for kickers. Parmalee.Parmalee's got room inside the 25. Another first down for Miami on the march. Sean Gilbert made the stop for the Rams.
Just their third first down of the second half. First of the fourth quarter. 28-20. It may all be for naught for the Miami Dolphins.
You know, what's pretty bizarre is Miami could have ended up, we don't know what's going to happen yet, but they could have ended up 8-8.
And gone to the playoffs.
Gone to the playoffs.
And they might finish 9-7 and be out of the playoffs.
Crazy. Parmalee. Stokes brought him down. The 9-year veteran, 12th round draft pick back in '87, Stokes.
Miami's trying to run the football here. 1, gain some control of the line of scrimmage. 2, eat up some time off the clock. 4:40 and 5:40 and clicking. But they're just inept running the football in some plays. Just somebody just misses a block cleanly, Dan.
They lost a couple. Marino swings it out to Parmalee. Parmalee maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. No more. Third down brought down by Carlos Jenkins, which leads us to the question, if Miami is even able to get into the playoffs, is this the kind of team that's going to do any damage in the playoffs? They just have not had it together down the stretch much.
Well, it depends on who you talk to. They believe that a lot of their problem has to do with injuries. Some think it's lack of effort. They have struggled this year. There's no question about that. I'm not sure how far they go. They just want the opportunity.
That was intended for Gary Clark, and he hung on.
Well, there's a
sliding inside the 10. He took a shot.
And that's a veteran catch. You know, he knows how to get down there, get the ball, protect himself, make the reception. He's in the slot right there with McDuffie, releases between the two safeties. Well, that's nice. One of the real fine receivers that this league has ever seen. Gary Clark, he was with Sanders. Part of that bunch up there in Washington that won the Super Bowl.
He's got 50 or more in each of his first 10 seasons. Won't get there this season, but a veteran catch there, and Parmalee takes it in for the score. Parmalee's got his second touchdown run.
Now, that was easy. They run behind the Pro Bowl side of the offensive line of the Miami Dolphins. Behind Webb and Sims. Good pull by the left guard, Green. Nice kick out block. Parmalee untouched into the end zone. And now if they weren't paying attention to the score in Oakland on the Miami sideline, and we know they were, but that at least now openly, what is the score?
They can devote some attention with a little bit of cushion here. Pete Stoyanovich nails it through, and it's 34-22 Miami with less than 4 minutes left.
Of course, the lingering question about this football team today, do we make the playoffs? Whether they do or not next week, does Don Shula remain the head coach?
Yeah, we touched on the subject. He late in the week said that he plans to honor the second year of the 2-year contract extension that he got, as we remind you about the AFC wildcard game next Sunday. And here are the Sunday games. Atlanta at Green Bay, and then on NBC, either Oakland or Indianapolis. If Oakland can hang on and beat Denver, they'll be at San Diego. That's the wild card game on Sunday, and then on Saturday, well, either Indianapolis or Miami heads to Buffalo, and Detroit at Philadelphia.
The way it stands right now, Indianapolis goes to Buffalo. Miami stays home. You were mentioning the Don Shula situation. The owner, Wayne Huizinga, said, I told you it's Don's choice. It's going to be Don's choice. And there's also a lot of conversation about, wait till after the kickoff here.
Stoyanovich drills it low, taken by Kinchin. Kinchin certainly is exciting. Gets it up to the 44-yard line as he drags some Dolphins with him. But go ahead, Trump.
I was going to say that there's been an awful lot of conversation, also an awful lot of ink spent on, is Tom Alibadati, the defensive coordinator, going to be the victim of this season? Is he going to be fired by Don Shula? All those people down in Miami, I wanted to give me a list of coaches that Don Shula has fired.
Couldn't produce one.
I mean, there's nobody on that list.
How unbelievable is that?
All the years he's been there, he's never fired a head coach, an
26
assistant
years
coach.
In Miami.
Yeah, I mean, he is intensely loyal to his assistant coaches.
And the critics also quick to point out that no one on his staff has gotten a major job in a while. As Johnny Bailey tried to haul in the Mark Rippon pass.
Yeah, but you know, I'm not sure that's a negative, because on his staff now are people like Joe Green, Gary Stevens. You've got several. Monty Clark was a head coach. There's Joe Green. Might someday be a head coach.
Sure.
But the staff that used to be here for a long time, Arnsbarger was a head coach. Sandusky and Tassif, they were so attached to Don Shula, they weren't about to go off.
That goes back quite a ways, though.
It does.
That goes back quite a ways, because if you look at the recent history in San Francisco and Dallas, of course, they're winning teams, and when you win, coaches usually get good credit and they move on elsewhere.
Sure,
but,
sure. But the group of Don Shula, John Sandusky, and Carl Tassif go all the way back to college days. They were teammates and also opponents. And I mean, nobody called those guys to be head coaches because they knew they wouldn't leave.
Rippon with a third down is chased down by Marco Coleman. Marco Coleman's got 6.5 sacks. Denver has the ball, by the way, at the Oakland 16-yard line. They trail by 8 in the fourth quarter. And we will be sending you to that game, if time permits, from this game.
And that game is behind us.
It is
time.
well behind.
Well behind us. So you're going to see some more football out there, Oakland, Denver.
Just 3 minutes left here, but more time left in Oakland. Denver on the 9-yard line of Oakland.
Trailing by 8.
Fourth down and 15 now, and the Rams will turn it over on downs to Miami.
So the Dolphins are going to finish 9-7. And will Alibadati stay or go? If you talk to players on this defense, you can't find anybody who has any complaints about Alibadati. And when I asked Don yesterday, one, he was a little offended that I asked him because everybody else has. He said, look, I'll do the same thing after this season's over. I've done every season. I'll sit down and assess every part of the football team. Players, coaches, my contribution.
Including his own situation.
Absolutely. My contribution, what we did good, what we did bad, where we need to improve. I think if this team is healthy next year, and you have Byers and Kirby back one more year on their knee surgeries, and you have the emergence, I think, of O.J. McDuffie. I wouldn't have him as a kickoff returner. I'm not sure I would leave Brian Cox at middle linebacker. I could make some adjustments, but this is a team that can win. But if you take away the name of Jimmy Johnson, and that's the name that's been bannered around the most. If you take away the name of Jimmy Johnson, who would be your next head coach in Miami? If there is not another candidate, if Jimmy Johnson is the only candidate. That's a lousy reason to say Shula can't stay.
Well, as you look at the rest of the scores, the Jimmy Johnson name really, I think, the only football name out there, granted, that could cause speculation over taking over a guy who's the all-time winningest coach in the NFL. So it's somewhat of the events have aligned themselves for this swirling controversy.
Given what you just heard, 1st and goal and 6. 1st and goal at the 6.
1st and goal for Denver at the 6. Remember, Denver has to win that game in Oakland. They trail by 8. That's DeMarco Farr, who comes over too far and produces the penalty. We've had some numbers flying around today, haven't we, Bob?
Yes, we have. But it's only a yard. That's too far.
All-star on the offense, number 79. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Yeah, this is a real dilemma for Miami. I mean, on the other side of the field, there is a great, I think, comparison. Jackie Slater, the tackle for the Los Angeles/St. Louis Rams, played 20 years. He played for 4 head coaches, one of them twice. Chuck Knox. One of the great things about the Miami Dolphin franchise is that Shula is there. You know what you're going to get.
Parmalee gets the handoff from Marino, but still some, Bob, to say he's been there too long.
Denver has 3rd and goal from
at the 3-yard line. So 2:33 left here. It's getting pretty dramatic in Oakland as Denver is driving. They are down by 8. We're not exactly sure how much time is left in that game. We'll try to get you that information.
And the people in Miami are very upset that the Rams are taking timeouts here. Come on, let's get us to that game.
There is 6.5 minutes left in Oakland. So once again, time permitting, we'll send you to that game, and it's looking very good that we will be sending you there because there's just 2.5 minutes left here. Denver has just scored a touchdown, so it is now 28-26.
And you go for 2.
You go for 2?
Absolutely.
We're now analyzing the game in Oakland. It was a Elway to McCaffrey score. And there is the update instantly. And I sense in seconds we'll be showing it to you.
And Greg will explain that if there is a tie score, what happens?
Well, then Miami has to win this game if there's a tie. Then with 2.5 minutes, it's crazy. They're up 34-22.
Just tell me this.
As Robert Wilson gets his, I believe, his first carry of the season.
All I want to know is this. When this day is over, we'll know who's in the playoffs, and it will not involve a coin flip. Can you confirm that for me? Huh?
You put me on the spot.
No,
I don't think there's going to be any coin flip involved.
Okay.
Denver has called a timeout before its 2-point conversion attempt in Oakland. We're at the 2-minute warning here, where Miami looks like it's on its way to a win. You're watching the NFL on NBC.
They were really growing up fast. Too fast. All Kelly talked about was going to high school, and all I could think about was paying for college. Sure, I played around with a few mutual funds, but I was no expert. So I started talking to someone who could help, a broker at Dean Witter.
We must plan for our clients' future as if it were our own.
Funny, kids think their parents always have the right answers. I'm just making sure I do.
We measure success, one investor at a time.
Every few years, the world gathers to witness an unparalleled sports spectacle, the Truckathlon. And to compete, you have to have a Ford Ranger 4x4, because you'll need its switch-on four-wheel drive for truck long jump. Its four-wheel anti-lock brakes for truck discus. And its whopping 4-liter V6 for truck hurdles. The Ford Ranger 4x4. You can't win without one.
Next event, truck pole vault. Yes!
Factiva from IBM. Welcome to the future.
I'm Greg Gumbel in New York. Here's the latest from Oakland. John Elway to Ed McCaffrey. Watch the great catch by McCaffrey. One-handed 4-yard touchdown, 28-26. And then on the two-point conversion, Elway on the keeper. This game is tied. New life in the Broncos, new life in the Miami Dolphins. If the Broncos win, the Dolphins are in the playoffs. Let's go back to St. Louis.
And there is Don Shula, who we suspect knows all about the two-point conversion just made by Elway. What a catch by McCaffrey.
Oh, that was unbelievable.
How big was that? John Kidd's punt rolls into the end zone, and the Rams will come back, take it at the 20-yard line, trailing 34-22. Well, Trump, what are you doing New Year's?
I'm doing the Gator Bowl, the Toyota Gator Bowl with Georgia and, Syracuse and Clemson. I can't wait.
Take it away. Sell this game, Clemson and Syracuse.
Celebrate the new year with NBC Sports as we present the Toyota Gator Bowl. Freshman sensation Donovan McNabb leads the Orangemen of Syracuse against the Clemson Tigers. That's the Toyota Gator Bowl next New Year's Day at 12:30 p.m. Eastern here on NBC.
Well done.
I know
Mr.
what you're going to be doing.
At the 20. Rippon's pass, and that is complete to Isaac Bruce. Brought down by Terrell Buckley, and I think it's time for an Isaac Bruce update as we get down to the final minutes here.
You're going to be watching that Toyota.
Oh, what's that?
You're going to be watching that Toyota Gator Bowl. I'm going to make sure you're going to be watching.
Well, that's what I'm going to be doing. That pass complete to Kinchin. He fumbles the football, and Pat Johnson will score for Miami.
That's 21 points off turnovers. That is the 9th time on a turnover against the Rams an opponent has taken the ball in for a score. 9 times against the Rams.
Pat Johnson in his first year out of Purdue comes up with a pick.
The angle drop by Rypien. Good clean catch by Kinchin. This is his second fumble of the day, and both result in points. Miami took it in after a short drive for the first score. This one, Johnson runs it in for the score.
We already mentioned his crucial fumble last week. He's had a couple of good returns today, but lost the handle a couple of times. And Stoyanovich makes it 41-22 Miami.
Now, this has been a cruel weekend for Don Shula and the Dolphins. Yesterday, when they were here at practice, they're being constantly updated on San Diego and the Giants. And when that interception is returned 99 yards for a touchdown, boy, practice slowed down a lot for the Miami Dolphins.
5:46 remaining in Oakland. The Raiders have the football. They are tied at 28. They're on their own 38. John Elway just ran in a 2-point conversion to tie it up.
And by the way, Oakland's place kicker, Jeff Jager, is an excellent long-distance kicker. Excellent.
And we will be sending you to that game for the conclusion. So Miami will win here, but they need the Denver win in Oakland. With this game pretty much wrapped up, Don Shula can't wait to get in. And finally, we believe that there's Harvey Green, the Miami Dolphins PR man,
well,
probably slipping Don some information there on the game.
Yeah, if Don didn't know before, Harvey certainly straightened him out.
It's going to go right down to the end, isn't it?
Yeah, painful.
Johnny Bailey comes out and smothered at the 17-yard line. Minute 12 left. They'll be sending you to Dick Enberg, Paul McGuire, Phil Simms. They have the call on the game. Vince Evans is now at quarterback for the Raiders, and we will have a new quarterback here. Dave Barr for the Rams.
You know what that tells me with Vince Evans in the game for the Raiders? Downtown. Throwing it deep.
Dave Barr, a fourth-round pick of the Eagles. Rookie out of Cal. Oakland has just fumbled the football, and Denver's recovered. At the Bronco 28. Barr's first pass completed the 24.
No timeouts. I know all of Miami saying keep him in bounds. Don't call a timeout.
Isaac Bruce hauled it in. And that's catch number 15 for Bruce. 209 yards.
What a day. What a year for this kid.
Check at 210. Down goes Barr. 3:52 left in Oakland. Tied at 28. Denver's recovered the fumble in Raider territory.
Clock is going to stop here just for a second on the sack. Inside 2 minutes. It'll start here in a second, Miami.
Rolling 34. Barr to Bailey. And Bailey close to the first down. Continuing to roll. Stay tuned. We'll be sending you to Oakland, where the Broncos have to win, beat the Raiders for Miami to get into postseason. And that pass off the arms of Isaac Bruce, incomplete. Clock stops with 1 second left. So the Miami Dolphins will finish the regular season at 9-7. Having won 2 of their last 4 games, or actually 3 of their last 4 games.
And played well in Buffalo last week.
Played well in Buffalo, losing 23-20 as the Bills clinched the AFC East title with that victory. Somewhat ironic because many felt that Miami would be in the position that late in the season, but the Bills are the division champions, and the Dolphins awaiting to see if they'll take over the final spot in the AFC playoff picture.
And if they do, they go to Buffalo again, where Thurman Thomas has eaten them alive.
He had 148 yards rushing last week. There's 3:52 left in Oakland. Still plenty of time to send you to the conclusion of that game. As the Dolphins will run out the final second of this one.
Well, is it or is it not his last game as the head coach?
And will Dan Marino have another shot at postseason? Stay tuned. We'll be sending you to Oakland. Dick Enberg has the call. The Raiders and Broncos.